And the pot calls the kettle black, calls the kettle burnt, calls her mad. Kettle reminds the pot that we both been burned on the same stove, that the parts of our bodies that are layered in soot were scorched by the same hands. Kettle tells pot that she still boils water, holds the hot breath of a white man's tongue, endures the slow simmer of a white woman's allyship, and still we make something beautiful. Pot calls the kettle wicked, and kettle says no, but says she's so magical she burned the hand of the last man who tried to pour himself a piece of her. Says she's so black she is everything, so black she is the beginning. She is the first thing someone finds home in when they wake up in the morning. Says ain't that what it means to be black? To have the world go up in flames around you and still be sanctuary for someone, saving men who lost themselves the night before, saving men who curse our names but forget his mama is made of steel too. And now the pot has no words, but calls the kettle bitter, but loves the glass pan, the fine china, loves all the exotic shit white men put behind glass casings, loves how fragile things not made of steel can be. But this isn't about the pot or the pan. This is about the kettle, the black woman, how she pours herself across the earth, but no one bats an eye when the water disappears. We give ourselves to men who never love us, but they say we are difficult, too hard to break. How we, the kettle, praise this pot, this man for all the water he holds. How we are the only ones who do not call him monster when the water boils over, because we know this heat, this white flame, hot enough to make any of us explode. We are the first ones to make noise when the world goes up in flames, but they say the earth was saved by the man who heard her scream. Pot calls the kettle black, and kettle says yes, but says you best remember you black too. The next time they bring a fire to your neck, they burn black bodies on the stake and the stove. Pot calls the kettle black, and kettle says bitch I might be, says nuck if you buck, then says wipe me down. Kettle says yes my nigga, I be black, I be mad, and I boiled the last man down to his bones when he tried to test me. Pot calls the kettle black, and kettle says hell yes. But don't say my name as if you ain't ever been burnt too.
All right, we're going to jump right into it. We're going to jump right into it.
I have a very controversial thought, and a lot of people going to come for me, call me and pick me, like, okay, whatever.
No, you're
if
worse.
More women.
Actually, you're worse than a pick me. Let's go over this new one you put out. Let's go over this new one Shanti put out. Let's see. Let's see what she's saying here.
The things we don't realize simple concept. Like, for example, when a man is telling us to chill, that is a form of protection.
Oh my God, she's bullshitting already. Here we go. Listen again.
Privilege with a lot of things. We don't realize simple concept. Like, for example, when a man is telling
she can hardly speak English, but she's telling us in America that we cannot understand a simple concept. Of course, she's trying to play off her stupidity before on her other one, where she was literally inciting violence by telling men to hit women on the side of the head with a brick. Basically, you know, if in their interpretation, the woman was out of pocket. Let's see. These people are too easy sometimes.
Us to chill, that is a form of protection. When a man say, hey, don't.
And the problem is what you don't understand, Chantel, is usually the woman that's telling the dude to chill. If you see, this is what's so ridiculous and stupid about this. If you read the stats themselves with no commentary, okay, you can tell the group of people that are chilling the less. Okay. See that dumb look she has on her face? It's fitting perfectly right now. And I'll tell you why. I think when it's not a think, there's 30% of black men are in the of the population of black men are in, prison, jail, whatever you want to call it. And 50% have been through the judicial system themselves. That's way higher than what happened with black women. I keep repeating this because it sounds like to me that it's the black women that are trying to tell the black men to chill, because obviously we're not chilling enough. So you're being disingenuous once again by pretending that black men are the logical aspect of our community. And it's just clear that we're not. I mean, I see your angle. I see your angle of trying to say that, if a person gives somebody else advice, that's a form of protection. Well, in that case, black women have been doing that for forever, more than black men have. So, what's your point? I remember one time when I was DJing at some clubs in Oakland, and this happened on Grand Avenue. I was watching a black woman trying to pull her boyfriend off of a man that he was assaulting. She was telling him to chill. I can't believe people believe this woman here. It's really getting frightening. But let me play some more. Let's see what else she's got to say.
Where that, don't go there, don't engage in certain conversation, or
It's so funny. Don't engage in some conversations, and you see all this trash that dudes talk. Dudes beef more than women, but she wants to give you the illusion that it's mostly women that are talking out of pocket and everything like that. And when it's by the stats, it's clearly men. See, I hate this propaganda. I hate it because it's misleading men and it's misleading women. And it's coming from somebody who's basically herself, she hasn't proven herself to be stable as well. She's been out of pocket as well. So what's the point?
or certain friend group, don't go on these girls trip. It's not him trying to
Girls trips. Dudes go to strip clubs. See, men are 3 times as promiscuous as women. 3 times as much. Black men, black women, 3 times as much. Black men are 3 times as promiscuous as black women. If anybody needs to be told to chill and don't go on boys' trips or strip clubs, it's definitely it's men that need to be told that. See, and placating men like this, making men believe that there's nothing wrong with them, that holds them back. Let me get some shout outs out the way. In the house, Hazel Hamilton, Miss RV, Tomas, Camo, Marquis, Benji, Miss RV. Hazel Hamilton says this: just like racist white cop want the black man to chill. Exactly. Shanti's got issues. She seriously has issues. I think she's mentally a man. Pax is in the house. Cyber is in the house. Exactly, Cyber. It's a provocation for me. Yeah. Let's keep going. She's already getting on my last nerves. Already getting on my last nerves.
Control you per se, or him being insecure, that within itself is a form of protection. That's him trying to protect you.
Oh my God. See, what happened is that she found out I was right. I won't say me, but other people, let's just say other people were right. And really there's no proof of black men protecting black women at all. There really isn't. I found one clip, which I'm gonna be playing tonight. And it's 5 years old. All the other clips I found were black men declaring their lack of protection of women, how they weren't going to protect women. That's what I found. I found more of that than anything else.
But a lot of us only see protection as violence.
You're the one who brought it up. You're the one who said a black man should put a brick on the side of a woman's head for getting out of pocket. You're saying that. Stop trying to sound like other people are saying it. It has nothing to do with just protection. It has to do with logistics. I've already talked about that. I don't know, maybe you saw one of my tapes. Yes, logistics is part of it. And unfortunately, black men haven't been very logistic. We have not. We've walked more black women into bullets than away from them. The proof is in the pudding.
We only see protection in the aftermath.
No. You only see protection in the aftermath. You're the one who made a big deal about putting a brick on the side of a woman's face. That was the aftermath. And you want us to be cool with that? Geez, I wish you would stop. I'm tired of debunking you. I really am. You're getting on my last nerves. But every time you do that, I have to look at you as being non-informed. And a non-informed person can be very dangerous. Mammies are dangerous. Because you're ill-informing the people that are in your room, and you're ill-informing women.
If something do happen, then he's supposed to come in and save us. We don't see it as he was trying to.
No, you see it. Don't stop putting the we stuff. That's what you're talking about is primarily what we talk about in this room. What you're trying to hide, what you're trying to scam people on thinking that you're all this knowledgeable stuff. You're not even from here. You have no logistics logic whatsoever. So I wish you would just stop trying to tell everybody else something you heard from somebody else. We always go through logistics here. One logistic is don't mess around with red pill dudes, because they're obviously going to be sociopaths, narcissists, because it's just what your genre brings. The genre you're in. All I need to do is pull up your web page, your channel, and show all those insulting videos you made of black women. Now you want to give black women advice? Mammy, please. In the house, Jenny B. In the house, Hazel Hamilton. In the house, Cyber Dreams. In the house, Camo. In the house, Pax. In the house, Marquis. In the house, Tomas. In the house, Miss RV. In the house, everybody up in the clouds. I'm not trying to clown Chantel, but if she puts herself in that position and she looks dumb, that I can't, nothing I can do about it. She's literally taking stuff out of the rule book. It sounds stupid. It sounds unrehearsed. At least you could have practiced what you're gonna say, so it seemed more. And what's funny is she's acting like she's talking to women, right? But most of the dudes, she has a mostly dude room. It's just weird to me. I'm gonna drop the link early. Why not? Why not? I'm not going to be on all night either. There's a lot going on tonight. So let's see what else she's got. She's going to get on my nerves with.
Prevent something from happening. And I think once we realize that.
I just realized how slow she is.
We will then start acknowledging and appreciating.
So check it out. We got.
She didn't even finish the whole video, right? And I got another clown lined up for us right here. So anyway, basically it's like this. You heard what she said. Ladies know more about logistics than men because ladies have to use logistics to protect themselves. Men are the ones that run themselves into bullets more than women. So why is she telling a group of people that have survived through life because they have to worry about logistics? She's trying to make it sound like black men are the logical ones. And I'm sorry, we're just not. The stats say that we're not. I wish that we were. We would be better off as a group of men, but we're not. I want us to improve, and I hope we do, but we're not. Here's another clown right here. He is this video he's calling Ghetto Somali Woman Rejects Guy, Then Instantly Regrets It. Just the title is disgusting. And it tells me what kind of person he is. There's no way to get around it. I don't care what his excuse wants to be. He sounds like a piece of crap. You could tell that you could tell he's ghetto red pill himself.
So check it out. We got quite a peculiar clip or clips that seem to have been going viral for the past day or so. And this is one of those things that what you see at first sight, even though it may be wrong, is not really what it appears. And this young lady that
wrong is wrong, first of all. If something's wrong at the beginning, it's wrong. What?
Of goes by the name of Rhoda Bashe, if I'm pronouncing that right. Now, she's a TikToker that has a pretty good substantial following. I've seen clips of her in the past and didn't really know what it was in particular, but she's definitely on the feminist tip, very controversial.
So what he's telling you is he knows nothing about her, but he's going to tell you something about her.
Very full-figured. I don't think she had some work.
She's not very full-figured. She's thick. That's what we would call her back in the day. But of course, you know, these niggas want to call everybody full-figured.
Done, but she likes to clap the cheeks here and there, and she talks about reparations and stuff like that, even though she isn't a foundational Black American.
Yeah, so basically, just because she wants, at least conversely, remember now, he doesn't talk shit about Chantel, who's not from here either. But he's talking shit about this woman here. That shows you the hypocrisy right there. At least she wants goodness for Black people. Let's keep it going.
What is that?
This is for the fact that you're a white man and I'm a Black woman. I have less privilege than you. Thank you.
She's actually Somali, if you guys didn't know. And according to her bio or whatever have you on TikTok, she's a former journalist or whatever have you. But what we're bringing this up to today is one of those things where we're talking.
So that means she's more qualified than you, fool, if she's a former journalist. These haters
about protect all Black women and things like that. And what happened to her, I don't agree with. And
oh, here we go. I don't agree with it, but I don't care. I think, yeah, I agree with it.
reason
Wow.
for that, but a lot of guys, they lose their cool, and people are saying that this wasn't really a foundational Black American. This was like a East African dude that did it. This happened in Houston. So without further ado, man, we're gonna jump into this clip.
They don't
and
know
show
who did it. Because the guy who said,
you guys what's going on here. Let's go.
Yo, this man just hit me in my face with a brick, and all these black men just watch, and they don't give a
problem right there. You can, from this time on, you can try to butter it up any way you want to. But unless she pulled out a Glock or something, which everybody said she didn't, it's wrong. And see, that's where it needs to be left. Black men are already too violent against Black women as it is. And now you want to make excuses.
fuck. Yeah, this man hit me, fucking grabbed a rock, and he hit me.
Really, I mean, Black men, do you really want to be known as being cowardice like this? And I'm going to show you why that's what it looks like to the rest of the country. You look like, whether we want to look like cowards or not, that's how we're looking right now.
My fucking face, because I would have given him my number. And all y'all just fucking watch. Y'all see that shit? Y'all see that shit? What y'all do? I want y'all to be a man.
What do you want us to do? What do you want us to do? Well, you could yell at the guy and say, drop the brick. You could have, I hope you texted somebody. What I heard and what was confirmed is that nobody did a freaking thing. So there was a list of plenty of options for a good man to do. Oya is in the house. Jenny B is in the house. Tomas is in the house. Miss RV is in the house. Hazel's in the house. Cyber Dream is in the house. We're going to keep this going.
Man, I want y'all to be a man and fucking do something. Y'all gonna let a man hit me in my face.
Yeah, actually, believe it or not, this is our pattern. We have probably caused more damage to Black women than we have saved them. That's not a good stat. That's not a good stat at all. We need, as men, we need to be doing much better than that. It's so funny because every other culture prides on protecting women in general. It doesn't have to be their own women, as I will be proving. Women in general. That's in lieu of racism. That's in lieu of racism. They still pride themselves on protecting women. That's in lieu of racism and misogyny, which the thing is this, Black men, you're losing arguments like this. You might even think you won the argument. But in general, with American culture in general, you're lowering our value by fighting this war of saying that you have the right not to protect women. Well, actually, it seems like we focus more on saying that not protecting Black women. Then you support a woman that says it's okay to put a brick up the side of a woman's head, okay? If she's out of pocket. So it's almost like, no, it is like, it's like literally confirming the fact that not only should you not defend Black women, but these red pill idiots are now telling you that if they get out of pocket, which has nothing to do with violence, by the way, because I did the out of pocket definitions yesterday. You're going to have to look at that yourself. since nobody knows what out of pocket means, a woman gets out of pocket, Chantel says you should be able to put a brick on the side of that woman's head. That's what she said. So don't tell me, oh, I didn't hear that. You did too. And you probably cheered too.
Fuck all y'all niggas.
Now, I definitely don't agree with that at all in terms of hitting a woman with a brick, bro. Where did you get the brick from? Was it just sitting there and you was just like, yo, if you don't give me your number, I'm gonna hit you with this brick? Who does that? That does sound like some stuff that outside
no, we do it. And it's worse.
Bros here that really don't do this, even though we've heard stories of dudes deleting women and doing all type of stuff for women. This is why a lot of women are fearful of not giving out their number to a guy, just giving them a fake number, and hopefully he don't call it right there on the spot. But
y'all
this is,
okay, refer to video number of the series number 2 and 3 when we went over, like, there must have been 10 or 15 examples of how men went violent because a woman refused to give a number or walked by them, or the guy was just having a bad day. This guy's acting like it's a myth. That's just disingenuous. Hazel says this. Why are blacks saying FBA? Exactly. What the hell is that? We are truly some lost people without a permanent name. Thank you. Exactly.
it's just crazy, man. For somebody to do that to her, and that looks unreal. That looks like some of these things you see on National Geographic or whatever. But this seems like some crazy stuff going on here. But she's gonna go on more about this, even though she's talking this stuff about all these guys here weren't doing anything. They don't owe you anything, sweetheart. Not to mention you're.
I told you. I told you. Another coward. JR Coward. It's called another person that doesn't believe in common decency, in my opinion. Another scumbag, in my opinion. FBA means Foundational Black Americans.
This tip, like feminist tip, women need to be kissing women and dudes and all this.
No, that's all. Now he's just straight up lying. Cowards.
And you twerking and all this, just strange.
Twerking, shoot. At least twerking is better than shooting people like we do. Bro, have you seen the stats? 160. One of us go down in the hands of another every 60 minutes. And you're worried about some twerking. It just shows you how ignorant this manosphere is.
And weird behavior at the end of the day. But let's finish up to see what she's talking about here.
Weird behavior. So I guess when men commit violence, that's not weird behavior.
Really, like, don't understand. Like, I'm just trying to take my friend out from 5 years.
Saying that they were trying to say that this was a skit, that she really didn't get hit. She got hit. Just to clear that up, just in case somebody, that's a wound on the side of her head. She's in a hospital. Okay. If anybody broke down the photo, you would look on the top here. You'd see it looks like either hospital ventilation or equipment, but you could tell she's in the hospital. Yeah. And he chose to make fun of her. You guys need to make that. You need to understand. And he chose to make fun of her. This clown here.
Years ago, like, literally spend my whole money not bothering nobody. Like, what the fuck kind of this. I'm in the parking lot just trying to buy some food. And like,
Yeah. Jenny B says this, they keep referring to a race and males standing around, but there's a lot of American black women making tons of jokes right along with all of them. Yep. So the whole FBA is separate is BS. Yep. I agree.
I'm literally like, why is this busting up on me like this? And I'm looking at all these. They literally let this do all of this.
See, I told you. See, the thing is this, there's a point where he was asking, when he was swinging the brick back and forth, welcome Trixie. When he was swinging the brick back and forth, he was asking permission from those other men without asking permission. Because if they said, no, drop the brick, he would have dropped the brick, I guarantee you. But they said nothing because they wanted to see him hit her. That's how disgusting these men are.
Let this do all of this.
See?
They let like really like do all of that. I never thought it was gonna happen, yo.
Yeah. It happened. It sure happened. I'll play a little bit more of this clown's video and then I'll go to the next one.
Like, it's so wild. And he's gonna get away with it. He got in the car. He got away. He's never gonna get caught. He's gonna move on. He's probably at
actually, believe it or not, what's gonna happen is this: is somebody around there, one of those guys who has a jacket, is gonna get caught, and he's gonna snitch. Or some cameras in the area, they're gonna find out who it is. Or the third option, which happens a great deal. Dude catches karma and ends up either in prison or worse.
The party right now, having a good time. Do you feel good about yourself doing this to a woman?
Unfortunately, he probably does. Unfortunately, he probably does. Indiana mom in the house. If you thought that got on your nerves, check this one out.
How can you expect for your black men, for your men to protect you when you're constantly on someone's social media saying how black men aren't leaders, black men are broke, black men don't build anything, aren't worth anything? But in the same breath,
all of those things are true. I'm a black man, and basically, as a group, we should be doing better. What are black women supposed to do? Lie? Like you are? Bella? We got a long way to go. So you lying to us, it's not helping. You've read the stats, right? What do the stats say? I mean, of course, you're probably a self-proclaimed expert, right? So if you're a proclaimed expert, then you know what the stats are. Stats say that we need to do a lot better.
you're saying you want them to protect you. You don't deserve the protecting.
No, that's the problem is that black women don't say that they want black men to protect. I mean, we should. Everybody else would. All the other cultures, they have that benefit. What you're basically saying is that black men we should not do what all other cultures do. That's what you're saying. For real?
Because clearly you're the man. Clearly you're the masculine.
See, now it's the masculine bullshit again. Look, I'm not even a woman, and it's getting on my nerves. She doesn't realize that she's the one acting masculine right now. Pretty Bones breaks it down like this. There are women content creators that are up in women's business trying to discredit her. I have been saying that many Black women are just as disgusting and problematic as men. Pretty Bones, boom. In other words, mammies are dangerous. Believe it or not, she recorded this before the incidents. But it's clear, if you look at the stats, it's clear that Black men haven't been protecting Black women for a long time. Man, we cause more damage to Black women than we stop. And I'm going to prove that later on in this live.
Your social media is your online resume that any man can sift through and make determinations and judgments about. Is your behavior tasteful? Have you shown grace? Have you shown some form of classiness?
Exactly. The problem is women are doing that more than men. Men are calling women B's and H's, 304s and whatnot, right? These mammies are something else. At least we got a new one on the mix. At least it's a breath of mammy air. A new mammy has arrived. Bella rings, mammy queen. If you know what I mean.
Consideration, empathy.
You got good background music though. He's talking about stuff that unfortunately Black men, we cannot even provide ourselves. Trixie Kincaid says this: no one said Black men aren't leaders. True. They said they don't want to be. Exactly. See, that's what I hate, Trixie, is when they start bending words. Is she deaf? Yeah, she's tone deaf for sure. Or disingenuous, either one.
Kindness. You want to be kind to every other type of man but your own.
Nope. That's a bald-faced lie. Black women are kind to Black men to Black women's detriment. If Black women were more kind to other cultures, they would be interacting with other cultures more than the 80% that everybody throws up. Oh, man. These mammies are something else. Let's switch up a little bit. Here we go.
Saw this on the internet. This Black man tweeted.
Let me pause this. I want to read some of these stats. Indiana mom says, Pretty Bones, true. Mammies are sometimes worse than Black men. They don't realize that they're setting themselves up. They're most at risk because they're around Black men and stupidly trust them. Yeah. Exactly. What's good, Darnell?
Hey, not much. How you doing, DJ Torque?
Doing good. How about you?
I'm hanging in there. Getting on the mammies today, huh?
Yeah, unfortunately, they slipped in. I didn't really expect them to slip in, but they did. You know, my best friend, Santi, had something to say, so, you know, I had to respond to that. Let me play it back for you just so for the hell of it. Why not?
Okay.
Why not? is she?
Women are just so privileged with a lot of things. We don't realize simple
Do you
concepts.
think women are privileged, Darnell?
Privileged how?
Let's keep it going. Maybe when she says, "Oh,
Like, for
Okay.
example, when a man is telling us to chill, that is a form of protection. When a man say, hey, don't wear that, don't go there, don't engage in certain conversation or certain friend group, don't go on these girl trip. It's not him trying to control you per se, or him being insecure. That within itself is a form of protection. That's him trying to protect you. But a lot of us only see protection as violence.
this came from the same woman who said this."
Hear me out. I have a very controversial thought, and a lot of people gonna come for me, call me and pick me, like, okay, whatever. If more women were to be introduced to a brick to the face whenever they act out of pocket, less women will act out of pocket.
So basically, the same woman who's telling us that there's a logistical aspect to protection, which I agree with.
Mhm.
In fact, she probably got it from us. Is the same woman who tells black men to put a brick on the side of a woman's head if she's out of pocket. Does that make sense to you?
I mean, no. I mean, first of all, hitting anybody, I don't care, man, woman, child, dog, hitting anybody with a damn brick. I mean, come on, I mean,
Right.
it's a object. What if you accidentally, God forbid, but you accidentally, maybe it was unintentional, but you unalive that person.
Yeah.
What are you going to say? Oh, they were out of pocket. That's not going to
Right.
hold up very well in court.
Right. That's basically what we're dealing with here.
Yeah.
Let me go back to the gentleman.
Saw this on the internet. This black man tweeted, "Black women will be protected when they listen and submit themselves to black men." Let me tell you what's wrong with this Christ-oganda, which young Paco called it that. Just this week, 3 different black women harmed by 3 black men. Toyin, 19-year-old activist in Florida, was sexually assaulted and murdered, and it was a 49-year-old black man who was the assailant. Just yesterday, I've seen a black woman get smacked in the face with a skateboard at the hands of a black man. And then I saw black men throw a black woman in the dumpster while laughing and recording them. We got to protect them from us. We're the harm in there. And the Bible, we love to use the Bible when we're not even submitting to God. That scripture's talking about the man and his wife, and first the man submitting to God, and then the wife. You want to be leader, but you don't even follow the Lord correctly.
Bars. What do you think? What did he just say?
I mean, he does have a valid point. I can't argue with that.
But let's take the Bible part out of it, because most of us ain't living that part anyway. We really are saying we're only going to protect you if you do this, this, that, and that, regardless of how I lead. We're really asking these women who've given up everything just this week, their life and safety. When you listen and submit, I'm going to just tell y'all this. That ain't flying over here. Not with Kevin Fredericks, not with Kevin on Stage Studios. We are off of that. You won't see nobody who I rock with on any of that. I ain't never really been silent about this, but I'm going to be more vocal than before. And not only am I about protecting black women, I'm about amplifying them. So when you start seeing my content, you start seeing more and more black women and more topics you're not used to, you're going to know why. It's because of this. Black men, we have to do better. We are the ones hurting our women. They out here fighting for us with no expectation of the same thing, and we out here harming them. And a lot of times in that video, the dumpster, it was multiple black men in there. Nobody said, yo, this ain't cool. When that man smacked that black woman in the face with a skateboard and knocked her unconscious, his homeboys was behind him laughing and recording. We gotta be better. You gonna see me being better. I hope I can see you being better. And if you're an accomplice to trash, you're trash yourself.
Oh, what do you think?
I mean, he is right. Black men do have to be better.
Saw this on the internet. This black.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I had to rewind it. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, you know, he's absolutely correct that black men do have to, you know, do better. There is issues, you know, in the black community, and you can't just ignore it. You can't ignore it. You can't just say, oh well, you know, it's not right. You can't be talking about you know, a fellow black person. You know what I'm saying? You can't talk about a fellow black person. Hey, if a black person, if somebody is doing wrong, you need to call it out. You know, right. I think Heathen Queen was the one that said it best. You know, when like, hey, y'all need to start policing yourselves, and I have to agree with that. Even though it's a nearly impossible task, she's right.
True.
You know, she's right.
Easy Money Drone says this. The biggest issue I have with the men in this space, they aren't submitted to God, but want to apply the Bible to everyone else. Bars. Straight up bars.
That's actually a good point. You do have those you know, people that like to quote the Bible. You know, some of them incorrectly quote the Bible. You know, probably ain't set foot in church in 10, 20 years. You know what I mean? It's telling people, well, you got to live by the Bible, but here they are, but not doing, you know, not practicing what they preach.
Right.
I wish Camo, or I think her name was Creative Solution. She was in the Navy too, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So both of them, they'll know this saying: "Do as I say, not as I do." They'll know what that means.
True. True. Very true. Let's go ahead and play this one for a little slight. Let's see what it. Oh, is that the one? Oh, okay. He said it to members only, and I'm not a member, so let me get rid of that one. Let's see what old Dee Dee has to say.
Who's Dee Dee?
Dee Dee, she's let me show you. Let me go with this one.
He raced in to help her out.
Okay.
Bastien was inside this Lauderdale Lakes Walmart when he saw a man beating up a woman. He raced in to help her out. He was for doing that right in front of his own family. Their lives have forever been changed now. This infant baby boy will now never get to know who his father was.
It's the songs that plays back in your head. It's the whole scene that plays back.
Okay, it's a scare tactic. What Dee Dee is playing is an instance of when a black man tried to save another woman and was deleted, I assume. And yeah, those are some risky things that can happen, but everybody does the same thing. So to take out a 1 in a million situation, it's kind of disingenuous.
I mean, I understand your point, but I mean, there is that, like I said, I mean, dealing with from experience, like I said I said this stuff 2 days ago, where I got in my first bar fight last year. You know, I was trying to save another black man's life.
I remember, yeah, you told us that. Yep.
Yeah. You know, and security even said, bro, you know, I had a knee on my neck like George Floyd. I mean, it wasn't no 8 minutes like George Floyd, but
right,
seconds was long enough. And, you know, security, though, I mean, even though they reviewed the tape, hey, you know, you weren't really fighting, but, bro, you should not have intervened. In my mind, I was trying to save this guy. There was 4 Hispanic guys against 1 black guy.
Right.
4. Those aren't good odds. And I ain't gonna lie, that black dude was he was out of pocket. That dude was way out of pocket. The black dude, not the Hispanic guy, but the black dude. I mean, granted, we were all doing something we shouldn't have been doing. We were gambling at the pool table. The black dude didn't want to pay up.
Okay, so how does that relate to this situation here?
Basically, what I'm saying is that you can't. You do have to be careful. I'm not going to say don't intervene, but you do have to be careful. Be smart.
That I agree with. Yeah.
Observe and report. Try, or if you can, try to observe, unless it's a life or death situation. Now that's different. Life or death, like in the case of the woman with the brick, or excuse me, that got hit with the brick. So
okay, let me ask you this: if you were there when that happened, if you were there when the guy was waving the brick around, because I heard he was waving the brick around before he hit her, would you have said anything or done anything before he followed through?
I would have tried to talk to him, say, hey, brother, calm down, put the brick down. You don't want to do this,
That makes you a better person than everybody was standing near her that day.
Well,
you see what I'm saying?
I mean,
they wouldn't even do that. They wouldn't even do that.
Yeah. Like, trust me, you don't want to do this, now, once he hits her with the brick, would I physically get involved? I wouldn't physically get involved unless he was hitting her repeatedly. At that point, now it becomes life and death. But if he hit her one time and then started walking away, I'll, if I got
with
my phone
brick,
I'm gonna take a picture.
With the brick, you don't know.
Yeah. I'm sorry?
With a brick, you can hit somebody with the brick and delete them the first strike.
You are correct, sir. You are very correct.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't put it up there with, let's say, a hatchet.
Yeah.
But it's pretty effective.
Yeah.
Depending on the health of the person, how and where you hit them.
Mm-hmm.
No,
you're correct, sir. It is a blunt object. It's very dangerous, but again, you do have to use discretion. The best thing to do, to be honest with you, is get as best of a description of the assailant as possible.
Yeah.
What's he wearing? How tall is he? Try to guess. I know it's hard, but try to guess his body weight. What do you think his body weight might be? If he had a car, if you can, try to get keep your distance, but try to get a picture of the license plate if you can. Let the police handle it. That's what they get paid to do.
Yeah, the problem is this with police. It's like, remember now, they can't show up instantly. They would have to literally have been around the corner to help the situation. Correct. Of all. So we could double the police force and it still wouldn't be enough. What America relies on is Good Samaritans and common decency. If that was to break down, there's nothing police can do.
Right.
They would literally be a Band-Aid on an open wound. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. I understand exactly what you're saying.
So that's what these men were missing. Mm-hmm. But see, that's what these are the same men these women these mammies want you to get with. They don't want you to get with a decent man because, believe it or not, mammies systematically are not around decent men. Decent men don't believe what mammies believe. Mammies want to make other women believe that all men are good when it's just simply not true.
Yeah. No, I mean, I could definitely attest to that, that all men are not good. I mean, DJ Torch, have you ever had like a friend you know, in your younger days, in your club going days, you ever had a friend that, you know, maybe he was a good guy when he was sober, but he would get drunk and like pick bar fights and things like that when he would get drunk and pick bar fights?
Honestly, I don't remember. I'm not saying that I didn't have a friend like that, but I just don't remember. Plus, a lot of times I was kind of like, you know, I hung out with a lot of square and or reserved friends. I just wasn't one for the wild. You know, I didn't hang out with the wild bunch. I'm not gonna. I've seen a lot of wild bunch guys, and I might have been an acquaintance with wild bunch guys, but we didn't hang out. You see what I'm saying? The guy I hung out the most was a guy who's still married and was at the time had been married for quite a while. Married in his late 20s. You see what I'm saying? That's who I hung out with.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of like you chose your friends carefully.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
Yeah.
You friends here and there, and that's about it. Let me welcome to the stage, Cyber Dreams. Cyber Dreams, welcome to the stage.
Hello, Torch. Can you hear me?
Sure can.
Hello, Torch. Hello, ladies in the chat. Once again, I would like to apologize again for my behavior. I would never do that again. The fact that I'm apologizing only to the ladies. The fact that these men go to somatics when it comes to violence is beyond my understanding. I'm convinced that all of these men have low IQ, Torch.
You know, the problem is that is I would have to go there. And the reason why is because the hills we want to die on are ridiculous hills. How are you going to defend a guy with a brick? And that's what they're doing. Even though they always say, well, I don't condone violence, but then they go into to literally roasting the woman.
Yeah. You know, that woman, she was an advocate for Black men, and look what happened to her.
Yeah, that's how it happens.
Some of the mammies, I said some lives ago that it's going to take something dramatic for a mammy to wake up. And she woke up.
Yeah. Yeah, she got woke up.
Just the sheer agony in her voice.
Mm-hmm.
Because I heard her speak regularly. That's not her regular voice. And as far as the Bible, these men out here, they say that the Bible was used to enslave Black people. So I am convinced that when they bring it up, they are displaying the same characteristics that the so-called slave owners used.
Yeah.
They are the same.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that's exactly how I see it. Because a lot of the things about being submissive and why don't you cook for me, even though they're just boyfriend, girlfriend, that kind of stuff, it's right along line of it. Let me bring Kenneth into the mix here just for one second.
Who else on the stage? I can't see because of the chat.
Oh, let me close up. Kenneth, right. Welcome to the stage. How you doing?
Hey, how are you doing, brother?
Doing good.
Yeah. Can I speak my piece, or you just greeting?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I listening to what you guys are saying, I couldn't disagree more. I mean, it's a lot. I'm hearing a lot of intellectual dishonesty in these conversations. Let me start by that guy you play. I don't know who he is, but as a man myself, I don't think you guys are listening to what men and some of these women, like that woman you played, is trying to tell you. Don't put yourself in compromising situations. Okay, let me give you an example. That's what that sister that you played before. That's what she's trying to say. I'm just summarizing what she was saying.
Which sister? I've played 3 or 4.
I only heard. I think she's like a Jamaican woman.
Oh,
Not to cut
Shanti.
you off, sir, but when you say compromise situations, to us ladies in the
Yes.
chat, we hear stay away from you guys. That's what we hear. But go continue.
Well, if that's what you hear, then stay away.
Because
Ain't
to be
gonna-
around black men is compromise already. But I digress.
Well, yeah. I mean, like I said, if that's what you hear, stay away. You know, I mean, it is what it is. I'm not going to lose any sleep over women that feel like black men are a certain way. You know, but my point still stands. If you feel that you are in a dangerous situation, you need to remove yourself from it. I was trying to give you an example of, I mean, where I grew up. I grew up in the inner cities of LA, right? We understood that if you were in a area of, let's say, predominantly Crip neighborhood, and their flag colors was blue, if you decided you wanted to walk up the street wearing all red, you might get accosted, right? Is it wrong? Yes, it's definitely wrong. But you got to understand your surrounding, and you got to have more awareness. And it seems like I don't see how you guys are missing that. And then what you want to do is you say, well, I want to be able to do what I want to do. And I want you guys to ensure it by putting your lives on the line. DJ, I take exception to what you said, because I'm waiting for you to finish playing this video.
So you're comparing.
Please allow me to finish, please.
We don't do circle talk here, sir. You could make a point, and you have to let us stay in tune with what you're saying. So you're comparing gang activity with violence against women.
They both are violent, right?
Well, sir, may I ask you a question real quick? Kenneth, that's your name, Kenneth, right?
Yes, it is.
If I can ask you a question, so like, how does I understand your point about, you know, not putting yourself in certain situations, but how does like a woman enjoying herself at a bar or nightclub, for example, guy decides to approach her, ask for her number, she declines, you know, and then gets hit with a brick. I mean, like, come on.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, you know, but you got to understand that you're going into that kind of element. You got to be prepared for that kind of stuff. The problem is once again, you know, you know what's even more crazy, that I can't put on, like the example I'm giving, I can't put on a certain pair of shoes or whatever without me having to risk losing my life just walking up the street, not being in the bar. You know, I could be walking to the store to go get my child something to eat, right? Not being in the bar at the wee hours of the morning with a bunch of alcoholics and you know, or whatever. The point is that, you know, it's a dangerous situation. I'm not justifying it, but the argument that I'm hearing is that, well, you guys, that's why I'm going back to what DJ just really just poo-pooed on. This woman right here lost her husband. She lost her husband. All right, I'm familiar with this case, and I guarantee you, DJ, whoever else is defending this logic, none of y'all donated to this woman's GoFundMe. I saw this GoFundMe.
Wait a minute. Where we going?
Okay.
Wait.
Let me say this, Torch.
Okay.
Yeah, the truth hurts, don't it?
No, that's not
No,
the
it
truth,
doesn't.
sir. That's not the truth.
Oh, yes,
I was quiet. This woman lost her husband because men are violent. See, they want to jump to the end of a situation without addressing the cause and the root nature of these men that are out here in this society. This is the climate that these men have created. If the man was not violent from the jump, that other man would have never lost his life. But they're trying to compare it. They're trying to convolute that, because he came to the rescue of a black woman is the reason why he's unalive. No, he's unalive because another black man chose to violently take his life.
Exactly. Which is the point I was.
Can I respond now?
No, I need to speak as well. Basically, the problem is this. You're not seeing black men as a problem, even though we are the biggest problem to ourselves. If you think I am wrong, then tell me who's a bigger problem when we are deleting each other at 1 person per hour. Okay, that's first of all. Then we're deleting women about 4.6 per hour. Is that every 4.6 hours? So the simple thing is this, is that, believe it or not, I've seen some of this video already. And what's funny is I'm glad you're here, and you got to stay here when I start playing the other videos, because I'm going to show you how other cultures work. You need to see how other cultures work, because they don't seem, we don't seem to be, you don't seem to be complaining about them, and they have no problem running into the fray. I am really saddened that this man lost his life. But he lost his life because we didn't check, or we didn't bitch on that dude who did that to him. We didn't get that guy off the street who did that to that man who this woman lost his family to. That's the problem. And you see it around here in the red pill system. We have this weird bro code where it's okay to brick a woman. It's okay to disrespect a woman. It's okay to be, it's okay to support predos and pedos, I call them. We don't check ourselves. I've been to Dee Dee's room. They don't check each other. They don't say, man, that's wrong. No, that ain't cool. I went to Chantel's room. They don't do that. They don't say, no, we got to be upstanding black men first. Then the women will follow. No, they don't even say that. What they do say is, oh yeah, they need to follow me. So, okay, bro. So you want a woman, right? Yeah, I want a woman. I deserve a woman. So what kind of, oh, she can come live with me and my mom. Shit like that. That's the problem we have, and why we will never grow. The mindset you have, that's not going to help us grow. Hey, I believe it or not, I appreciate you trying to defend black men. The problem is we got problems we need to solve first.
You know what,
before we can really even take it to before we can even complain about black women.
These men compromise everyone around them. It is them who are compromising everyone. Jenny B made a great point. It's just made me think about something. If that guy, George Floyd, wasn't the way he was, Chauvin would still be employed. No one who filmed it would be traumatized. The young lady who filmed it was traumatized. The store owner wouldn't have his information doxed. They compromise everyone. Just like this young lady on Dee Dee's show. If that man had restraint to walk away, her husband would still be here. There wouldn't be any news coverage. They are the ones who are compromising everyone in the world. And it's mind-boggling that men with so much pride, how can they have all this pride? They are the lowest men in the world. They have a lot to worry about other than all of these the symptoms. I consider all of this stuff that we're seeing symptoms of a root cause, which are them in their mentality, in their psychology.
Okay, now can I respond?
Yeah,
What you saying, please? Thank you. Like as I was saying before I was cut off.
Nobody cut you off. We just don't. You just have to land the plane.
No. I was when I was trying to say.
What is your retort?
Okay, what I was trying to say.
Just tell me your retort.
I'm trying to give you my retort. Okay, you're missing the point. In this video that you paused, right? That man lost his life. And what I was trying to tell you before I was cut off was none of you guys are going to be willing to support that mother and that little boy who lost his father. Okay. And so I said there's DJ, you cut me off again. You cut me off again.
No, hey, this is my channel. Okay.
You don't understand,
Yep.
Torch. We
Yep.
are already in the works.
No.
We're trying to get legislation. We're going to have relocation center supports.
You guys.
Well, look,
we,
Ken, if you're
we
not
are
gonna,
trying
you're
to
not
get
gonna
the stuff
stop.
we need.
Let me break this down like this, Ken, since you just want to keep talking. Okay. We feel bad for this woman. Okay, he left. We feel bad for the woman. We feel bad for the man. We feel bad for the family. But that's not going to, you using a guilt trip on us is not going to get anything done. The goal is to exactly what Cyber Dreams was saying, which was to get legislation to get the bad ones, the bad dudes off the street, which doesn't seem to be happening.
Yeah, and
to get more
programs.
protection on the street.
Listen, we've been talking. The ideas that I'm throwing out there, we need programs for women like this. We don't have that yet.
Right.
But ladies, we have the money to do it. But first, we need legislation. First, we need protection from the government, and then we can come together and have relocation centers, domestic violence victims of crime. We need these for these women. Then she will get the support. We don't have it yet, but it's going to come.
Well, Cyber Dreams, I would disagree. I think there are DV shelters out there already. There are laws against.
There are, but they're not enough. I know that because I've worked for 2 counties already.
I'm talking about something for Black women. This is going to be a grassroots. This is going to be historical, Torch. The things that we're trying to get, we're already recruiting women now. So we're going to make great moves. See, unlike you guys, women are very determined. And that brick situation got every woman all over the world talking about it. People in Korea are talking about it. It's other nationalities of women are talking about this.
Well,
so let's analyze this real quick. The dude came on here, right? Welcome, Quita. Welcome, your average local logical thinker. Welcome, DJ. This is the weird thing. He came on here saying we can't handle the truth, which is all we talk about, which is funny to me since like yesterday, if you watched all the videos that I was showing, how women were being abused and deleted by men, and this was off the news. So it was the truth, okay? But he wants us to donate to this woman here because her man got deleted, even though we have shown 100 women on this channel who got deleted. In that case, we should donate to them too.
Yeah, Torch, and for him to try to bring a parallel of gangbanging activities,
right?
They don't have the capacity to be in certain conversations. This is why they don't even have legislation for themselves, but they out here complaining all day, every day. But guess what? Black women, we finna show you. We're gonna show you guys what we are doing and what we're gonna do.
So what is the plan that you plan on doing? If you don't mind me
I've already spoke on it, but I'm not gonna speak on it in details with you, Darnell.
Okay, fair enough. You don't have to.
I'd like to welcome Urbanista, the Urbanista, to the stage. Welcome, the Urbanista.
Hey, thanks, Torch. Hey, guys. Happy Friday. I just wanted to come on. I haven't been on in a long time, but I've been listening in the background. And what's very disturbing about all of this is the fact that we will not acknowledge that we need to change and shift our culture. We get that not every Black person, not every Black man is a certain way, right? But we have an overabundance of this in our culture. And what's very fascinating to me is that literally every week, Torch, you have a new scandal, right, in our community that includes violence, that includes something disparaging, right? And we talk about this every single week. And I'm just getting tired of it. I really am. I'm getting tired of the behavior. I don't know what we need to do to shift the culture, but we need to start having conversations, and we need to keep it real, and we need to start shifting the culture in our community, because we're tearing our
leave your
community
email
down.
in the back chat, please?
Yeah, I will.
Please do that.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
Torch, once you get it, we gotta forward that to Prism, okay?
Got it. I'm sorry, Urbanisa. Keep talking.
No, but I'm just getting frustrated with the lack of accountability, and like I said, the lack of moving forward as a culture overall, right? Because it's just sad. I mean, literally every single week it's something, right? And it's disheartening. It really is.
I couldn't agree more. I could not agree more. There's so many things that just make me cringe when I see it. I understand that the thing is that other cultures have people that I'm going to take the men's side of it this time. Other cultures have women that maybe don't act right or say the wrong things. A good example is that what's her name? I forgot her, the Trump supporter, but Mary something, the MTG, whatever. She be saying some ridiculous stuff, and she's been saying for a long time some stuff that's borderline. It's disgusting, but it's borderline either or racist or something else. I've never seen anybody throw a brick on her face. There's a certain level of common decency in our culture we need to bring back. And it's not there. That's why when the guy was saying, oh yeah, you guys didn't donate to this woman's, well, we didn't donate. There are hundreds of young ladies that are gone now that we should donate to in that case. Not just the guy, but all those young ladies who lost their lives. Some of them lost their lives trying to save somebody else themselves. So that's why I get irritated when they try to bring this red pill guilt trip up here. Because I understand, yeah, it's sad that I am saddened that the man lost his life. But the sad part is that there are so many other instances of that. Last night I was combing through videos, and there must have been there were hundreds of videos with just, unfortunately, black men just going at each other, literally having gunfights at gas stations. That seems to be the spot to go now. We can't.
And also, I'm sorry.
We can't even get out of a gas station now.
Yeah, that's why that's one of the reasons I don't carry my guns with me. You know, those gas stations. You know, I don't know what it is, especially here in Arizona. Here in Arizona, I mean, there's always drama at a damn gas station. I don't know what that hell is. What in the world that?
Yeah,
that crap
the best thing I can advise for women is don't go to stores late. Unfortunately, it's gotten that bad. Don't go to stores late. If you do go to a store, go to a main one, the larger stores. If you don't have to go to for some reason, it's gas station.
Torch, you're describing what sundown. You guys know sundown cities. That's what you're describing for us to do.
Yeah, it's sad, isn't it?
And we live in a free country.
Yeah, and the sad part about it is, people talk about divesting, but this is quite frankly the reason why people do not want to live in our communities. It's because it's not safe, right? This is why, a lot of middle and upper middle class Black people move out of our communities post segregation, because it's not safe. And that's the thing, unfortunately, we cannot even function as a group because we literally have men that are coming online, men and women coming online, justifying someone taking a brick and beating someone on the head for being out and not wanting to give someone else their phone number. We are literally going back and forth about men who do not want to hear no, and they want to be violent in our communities. And then we wonder why people do not want to live around such violence.
Right.
Why would anyone want to live around such violence?
You nailed it. I mean, the thing is that for some reason, there's a culture in our culture that does not have a component of self-respect on how they look to other cultures and to our how many times has somebody asked themselves, what am I doing for in my situation, how am I improving or how am I maintaining a good black male image? And for some reason, they don't care. They don't care about their image. They don't care how they look. They might care how they look. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was privy to see a website. Alexander Brennan, he's really good at digging up stuff. I was privy to see, it's a website called Black Girl Tragic, and it keeps going on and on and on and on of all the unalivings of Black women. I didn't see not one person with blue hair, pink hair, yellow hair, beautiful women that are no longer here. And for all of the strives that we have accomplished in this country, that we have to go back to confinement, it's really, the alarms are up.
Right.
Well, it's not even going back to confinement. It's plain and simple leaving our communities, right? Because the threat is in our communities. I mean, we've talked about this over and over again. This is not an issue, and it's not the same level of threat when you are in other communities. It just isn't. I don't know if it's a class thing or what, but that's the problem. It's us.
Yeah, and until them ladies can get out, it's confinement.
But we've been confined in our communities for a long time, though. That's one thing that I will say. I mean, during the crack epidemic, we were confined. We were tortured by terrible people in our communities in the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s, right? I mean, this has gone on and on and on. And the folks that have been able to afford to move out don't deal with it, right? But the people that are in these communities have been tortured, and they have been going through the terribleness that exists in our communities. And we don't do anything to correct it. And that's the problem. We're not correcting each other.
No, I mean, a question I usually like to ask people, on the panel and in life general is like, okay, who is more? If you were in, let's say, the neighborhood, right? Who would you be more concerned about? Black women or Black men? Who would you be? Would you stay if all the Black men in that community left and the Black women stayed? Would you feel safer?
Maybe like 80%.
I mean, I'm talking all Black men leave and all Black women stay in that neighborhood. As a Black man or a Black woman, would you feel more comfortable? And more than likely, come on, if I knew that there was only Black women in the neighborhood and no Black men, I'm staying. So what does that tell us?
Well, to be honest with you,
that is what you call not liking the truth. Is the bottom line is that unfortunately us Black men, we have a propensity for violence more so than we should. Let's put it that way. Hey, look, I know the history of the Caucasian history of violence and the other histories of violence, but when it comes down to senseless violence, when it comes down to senseless violence, unfortunately, we're the leaders. That's the problem.
DJ Torch, may I
sure
ask you a question?
Hit me.
Okay. You and I both agree that 1 out of 3 as far as black men, 1 out of 3 of us, you would agree, are felons, correct?
Are what?
Felons, or we've been incarcerated in state or federal penitentiary.
It might be worse than that. It might be closer to half of us.
The article that I read, it says 1 out of 3.
Yeah, 1 out of 3 are incarcerated. Half of us have been through the system.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is this: 1 out of 3 of us are in prison right now. Okay.
Right.
But half of us have gone through the system, whether it be a jail, whatever you want to call it, and have gotten out. You see what I'm saying?
Well, I'm talking state and federal. Like if you're at, you got into a bar fight or whatever, and you're in county jail or whatever.
Right.
I don't count that. I'm counting the serious stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you're assuming that people were arrested, though, right? You're assuming that they were charged with something. I mean, we have a clear history of people that are doing violent things in our community that are not in prison, because if they were in prison, they wouldn't be in our communities. So we're talking about the people that are here right now in our communities that are causing the chaos, and we're talking about the men that are justifying it and that are backing these guys up, right? So back in the day, one thing that I will say, and I don't like talking about back in the day because I think we had the same problems, right? But what I will say is that men did a better job back in the day of correcting young thugs in their community. So that wasn't considered decent, right? Nowadays, guys glorify these people. They glorify thugs. They glorify pimps. They glorify all the terrible people, right? And the derelicts of our community. And that's a problem. I mean, it goes back to what Torch said in the first place. It's common, decent behavior, being a decent citizen. And that's what we're talking about. We're not talking about the people that are locked up right now. Clearly, those people that are locked up are away from society because they don't know how to behave in society. But we're talking about the folks that are in society that still don't know how to behave.
The ones that didn't get caught, right?
Absolutely. They didn't get caught or justifying the behavior.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so the statistics of black women that go to jail.
It's like
Torch. There he go again.
Hold on a second. I'm going somewhere with it.
Let's put it this way: it's like 3 or 4%, something like that.
It's a little higher, but it's like the statistics I saw was like 7-8%. Almost 1 out of 10.
I think that was for all women.
No, that was specifically black women. Now, do you know the statistics of white women that go to jail?
No, they're not a concern.
They are 2%. So, if I understand what you guys are saying, that black men are bad, right? Because our numbers are higher, but even black women are 3 times more as likely to go to jail than a white woman. Does that mean that black women
and
are?
a lot of
does that
but a
mean
lot of
that
those
black
you got to look at
women
those
are worse than
charges.
white women?
Yeah, but you got to look at those charges too, because I'm not going to get in the semantics, because I mean I think someone mentioned that we're doing a circular argument here, but
It's called circle talk.
Yeah, but what I will say is when you look at statistics, you have to also look at the statistics. More women don't typically do violent crimes. So a lot of the people that are going to jail that are women, it has to do with drugs. It has to do, majority of it actually is drugs. And then the other part of this,
right?
Not necessarily, no, it's not. There's violent crime. The statistic for violent crime is a lot higher for men and for black men in particular than it is for any other group.
I agree. like I said,
Yeah.
black men, we
Yeah.
are the worst, or statistically speaking, we are the worst. 1 out of 3 of us will go to jail at once in our lives. All right. When it comes to white men, I believe
No, there's 1 out of 3 of us are in jail. One out of 3 of us are in jail. Half of us have been through the system.
Well, the statistics that I've seen says 1 out of 3. So
1 out of 3 for what? In jail or through the system?
Through the system.
So what is he
saying-
using? Why is bringing up
He's been
statistics
arrested
of black
at least
women prison rates? What is your point?
I just said black men just now. But my point is that, okay, you're saying, okay, all black men are bad because, yes, we have higher statistic rates. But when I mentioned that black women are 3 times as
You
likely
didn't
to
say
go
all
to
black
jail
men are
as
bad.
a white woman.
We have
So,
never said those
didn't
words on
say-
this platform.
Yeah, no
Never.
one's ever said that all black men are bad. I think what we're trying to say is that there is a propensity for violence in our community. It is very apparent, very clear. And what we're saying is we need to do something about it and acknowledge the fact that someone in our community needs to be, and it should be the men. Men should be holding other men accountable. So instead of being on here and arguing back and forth about who's doing crime, we need to be out here in these streets, right? Particularly you, Darnell, because you're a black man. So you need to be out here in these streets mentoring these young boys and getting them to change their mindset from a violent mindset. That's what we're saying.
That's actually a good point. To be honest with you, I mean, I'm not gonna say, hey, I reach out to every young black man, and one of the things that I found out, especially at other black men, when people become adults, you can't tell them anything. Especially the older they get, the more stubborn they get. And one of the things I've noticed is that it's the youth that you gotta reach out to. I know it's sad to say, but it's the youth. The youth will listen. I tried to help in Dallas. I tried to help two black men. Well, one was a black kid. It was my neighbor's son. I used to hire him to wash my car and stuff like that. Paid him money, to wash my car. Basically, I wanted to help keep him out of, gangs and all this other stuff. This guy, I'm telling you, this kid, I'm telling you, he stays out of trouble and stays healthy. I'm telling you, he's going to be playing college football. Possibly.
Torch.
He might even be pro.
Is Darnell? Are you finished yet, Darnell?
No, ma'am. But almost.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and let him play. All right. But there was another black guy I tried to help who was 29, living with his sister. All he did was, I hired him to do odd jobs for me and stuff of that nature. But all he wanted to do was smoke weed. He wasn't even concerned about trying to get a job. He was 29 years old. Wasn't even concerned about getting a job. Even his sister was about to kick his ass out the house. Drove his ass to the Army recruitment station. Scores a 5 on the ASVAB. You ask Camo or Creative Solutions what score 5 on the ASVAB means. I mean, like literally, you can't even spell your name right.
So what's the point, though?
My point is that the only way to change is you have to basically. I hate to say the term. You got to give up on the older generation of black men. Or the black men that are grown men. But you have to start with the youth. You have to start. I was more effective with this kid, this freshman in high school. I was more effective with him.
Okay. Cyber Dreams, let me kick out some shout outs and then I'll let you interject. Okay. Shout out to Prism in the house, Creatives in the house, Hazel Hamilton's in the house. We have Indiana Mom in the house. We have Jenny B in the house. We have Peter Ward in the house. Marquis Benji's in the house. Kimberly Moon is in the house. Pretty Bones is in the house. We have Melanated Vessel in the house.
This is what I'm saying.
You know what, Torch? Listening to Darnell just made me think about something, right? The reason why these men are uncomfortable with us speaking about the femicide rate, because women are outraged about it. before the internet, we didn't have the privy to know all of the pictures. We see women pictures now. Where was the outrage when gang violence hit the streets?
Right.
Where was all the outrage when all the men in the 80s were dying? Where was these men's outrage?
Exactly.
Well, there was a ton of outrage.
No.
There was more outrage when there was more outrage if someone's had snitched on one of them than anything else. That's the funny part.
But because we are speaking up about the femicide rate, it highlights their psychology and their behavior. It's on Front Street, and they try to sedate us and suppress women because if other people see it, it makes them look bad. When he say the word bad, oh, all black men are bad. That's something he's coming up in his own mind. We have never said men are bad. We're just highlighting the fact.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so
not our opinions.
When I highlighted the fact that black women are 3 times more likely to be incarcerated than a white woman, how did that
you only said that? You only said that because what we're saying about men had a propensity of violence. That's the only reason why you said that.
But how did that make you feel?
It don't make me feel nothing.
I disagree.
Well, Darnell, you want to know my opinion?
Go ahead.
How many? In fact, I'm going to start with the question. How many of those women that are incarcerated were either didn't snitch on somebody or are an accomplice to somebody else? What percentage do you think that is?
Unknown.
So you know everything else, but you don't know why these women are in jail.
No, I just have the overall, just like the same. I have the statistics that 1 out of 3 men will go to jail at one point.
I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you something, Darnell. I'm a black woman, and I will say that hearing that statistic does not surprise me, nor does it make me feel any sort of way, because what I think about is the fact that there are certain things that we need to improve on in our community. And I'll give you a great example. A statistic that I hear that is improving among black women is the fact that we're opening more businesses, that we're the most educated now. So you're seeing these statistics change, right? So the statistics that were very negative against black women are starting to change. And that makes me feel better. But the statistics that I see that we need to improve on, I'm trying to figure out ways in which I can support women that look like me to improve on those statistics, right? So it doesn't make me feel any sort of way, right? It makes me feel like there are some things that we need to work on. That's the whole reason why we look at these statistics, so we can look at the insights of the data that it provides and improve. If you were in corporate America, you would look at that data, right? And let's say you had lower data ratings for whatever product, right? You make certain decisions about that product based on the data that you're getting. And that's the problem, Darnell. Instead of taking it personal, you should be looking at how we can improve.
It's not the fact that I'm taking it personal. I was actually trying to allude to a much larger point later on, to be honest with you. But again, it's not that I'm taking it personal.
Okay,
I mean,
so let me ask you this, Darnell, real quick, and I'm going to let Cyber take it over. Who do you see as the bigger problem? Who has the bigger hurdles to get over to fix the community? Black men or black women?
I would say black men. Black men have the bigger hurdle.
Okay,
that's my opinion. Yeah.
Okay,
the lady that's on the panel, I need you to put your email in the back chat. Because what you're talking, we started our first conversation, but we got trolled. So we're collecting emails for a private link to send out to women, because we're going for legislation. That's the only thing that we're going for at this moment.
Cyber Dreams, may I make a suggestion?
Sure.
Have you considered teaming up with white women and Latino women as well?
Of course.
Inflation.
Of course. But right now, 1,500 women a year, I think it's maybe 2,000 Black women are unalived. So we're trying to pinpoint legislation for us. And then, bills have different clauses, different things that's in it. But the main focus is for us.
No, I get that. The only problem is that, as you know, Black men and women combined, we only make up 13% of the country. That's the problem.
It doesn't matter. We are separating from the Black male culture.
Okay.
This is our only move that we have.
So let's separate Black men then. Now, guess what? You're only about 7%.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter. You know how power is. Okay.
It doesn't. Black women today have we have a greater voting power than ever. What are you talking about?
No,
we hold seats in Congress. We hold seats in Congress.
So do white women. So do Asian.
But they're not unalive at the rates we are. So
it doesn't matter. You need a majority. You need a majority is what the point I'm trying to get at. You need a majority.
Wait.
That's why I'm saying
Darnell, how do you think? Who do you think won Georgia?
Which race? The Senate race?
The one that the Black women won. Never mind. Okay,
no,
see,
I don't know
the problem with the 7% argument you're making is that there's more Black women than there are Black men, right?
Yeah.
There's still a lot less Black women in prison than Black men, right?
Correct.
Shouldn't we focus just on our men? And then if the women, don't you think that if the Black men are doing better, Black women will be doing better in both numbers? But if we get one number to drop, the other number will drop. Aren't Black men supposed to be the leaders, right?
Well, from what it sounds like, Cyber Dreams has a plan on, I know she doesn't want to talk about it, and that's fine, because I'm here, but, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Secrecy is best.
Okay, hold on. Shout out to Miss Globe Girl. Shout out to Heathen Queen. Shout out to Hazel Hamilton. I guess what we're saying is that I understand what you're saying is that the number of Black women in prison are more than the number of white women in prison, but that's basically, that's like, what's the price of tea in China? That has nothing to do with Black men stepping up and being better.
And Torch, and if these rates of femicide continue, that number is going to outnumber all of those women that are in prison.
Yep.
Well, my point is, remember that other gentleman, I believe his name was Kenneth, that came up, and he had mentioned, here's a Black man that defended a Black woman. And right. The one thing that you had said, DJ Torch, you had said, okay, well, this is one case of a Black man, that got unalived by defending a Black woman. This is just only one case.
Right. Can I ask you a question, Darnell? Before you move forward, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
How many Black men have been deleted by other Black men defending Black men?
Probably a lot.
There you go.
I would I don't even know the numbers, but I would say it's a lot.
I just said in the chat, see, until I go research those numbers about imprisonment, then I'll have a factual or a more reliable opinion. In order for you to have an opinion, you have to do a little research and then comprise an opinion.
Okay, well, go to Department of Justice.
Okay.
Yeah, I will.
Okay, let's welcome Amiri to the stage. Thank you, Amiri. It's good seeing you once again.
Hello. Blessings,
hey,
blessings.
How y'all doing?
Hello, Mary. How you doing? I'm all right.
Okay. Well, I'll just say this really quick. I know one of our cultural imperatives and has to be creating a culture where we put the safety and the security of Black women and Black children at the forefront. And currently, we don't do that. Currently, it's the opposite. So when I hear women like Cynthia G and others talk about this Black male worship culture, there's a lot of truth in that, because we believe that it's about protecting the black man and we got to protect black masculinity. No, we can go and look at, like I said, I always talk about the empiricism. We can go look at the empiricism and see that, black women and children are just unprotected. We have a culture that doesn't protect them, that doesn't prioritize their safety and security, and we have to change that. And it first starts by having these conversations in good faith. You see, we can't sit here and be deluded and want to be high off of our own machismo and this ego and bravado and not really deal with what the facts are as they are on the ground. And the facts on the ground is that black women are unalive more than any other demographic, more than any other female group at the hands of their men. That is a problem. Now you have this is why I always talk about the failure of pro-black politics, because through the rubric of pro-black politics, we can never talk about what the real issues are in the black community. Because you have some who will deny femicide. They'll deny the numbers. They'll deny the empiricism because of what it actually shows. And what it actually shows is that that black men pose a particular risk to black women. We just don't want to be honest about it. I remember when a few years ago there was that whole thing going on with street harassment. And you had Tariq Nasheed and others sitting there trying to pretend like this is some plot by the feminists and the white man. Man, knock it off, man. As brothers, we all know that it's a common thing for a dude to approach his sister, try and get her number, and then if she doesn't capitulate or give her number or cooperate with what he's trying to do, he's gonna cuss her out. We've all seen that just coming up as kids, teenagers, adolescents, even as grown men. So we just need to be honest, man. But you have a hard time. It's like pulling teeth trying to do that.
I have a question for you then.
Mm-hmm.
How long does this imperialism and this black male culture and the risk to black women, how long would you say it's been going?
I think it's been like this the whole time. I think we have always asked black women to forego their immediate threat for the black man to pose an immediate threat, which has always been the white boogeyman. But we don't want to be honest that the greatest threat in our community is the black male. We don't want to be honest.
Yeah, brother, this is very true. And I'm glad you mentioned the children. Because a lot of times we're sitting here talking about women, but we do need to focus this conversation on our own children as well too, and how children are also being marginalized in our community as well. And I love what you just said, brother, because the other thing about this, when I think someone mentioned about a bed wench last time I was listening in. And what's fascinating to me is the black man is very focused on the fact that white men rape black women, but we don't talk about all the black men that rape black women during that time as well too, right? So you're right. You're absolutely right. Black women have always been victimized in our community.
I mean, well, how many black men were raping white women during this time period?
I didn't say white women. I said black women.
Oh, black women. Okay, I apologize. I misheard you.
Shout out to Quita Ward in the house. Shout out to Shreya in the house. Let me go ahead.
But the point is, we do focus on the crimes of the white man, and we never focus on how black men are also marginalizing black women and black children in our community and each other in our community.
But Amiri said it's always been that way. So it's got from this man to say that, ladies, you have to think. You got to think.
It has. I think what the deal is to Amiri's point, we've bought into the propaganda of our black male leaders who are saying that the only thing that we should be concerned with as black women is the issues that the black man has with the white man, right? And not the issues that we have in our internal community with being terrorized by our own men in our communities.
I mean, like I said, I mean, the thing is, the only thing that I have an issue with, and again, it's not that I'm offended or anything, but I do take issue with the fact, like, I don't think you guys understand that you're kind of the same as, like, even in the red pill or the manosphere space. I mean, granted, you're talking on a different spectrum, but you're doing some of the same talking points. Like, for example, in the manosphere, you know, and if I can say, I know this show's not about the manosphere, so I'll try to keep it brief. But you know, in the manosphere, for example, I mean, you are taught, you know, the thing is, you're taught this fear mongering, okay? And in the manosphere, they talk about, okay, you get married to a woman, you know, you're 50% chance of getting divorced, which that's true, okay? Then you have 70% of women initiate divorce. That is also true. However, what the stats don't tell you in these scenarios is how many of these men that women are divorcing because these men are, I don't know, drunk. Maybe they have a gambling problem, a drug problem. Maybe they're abusive. Or they're sickos. I'm trying to keep it clean for DJ Torch's show, but the sickos, I think we can all understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
You know, to the children. You know, how many of those women, even though 70% of women initiate the divorce, the manosphere doesn't tell you how many of those women have a good reason to divorce their husband. You see what I'm saying? And I kind of see the same thing here where, okay, you like to throw the statistic, okay, black women are being unalived as 4.6 black women, one black woman every 4.6 hours, you know, which...
And Mary, please get this when he done, okay? Please.
Which translates to 1,825, you know, black women a year. Now, are all black men committing all those unaliving? Does that make sense to anybody? Do you understand where I'm trying to go with this?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The point is that black women are at a particular risk when it comes to bodily harm and injury from her male counterpart, but from other male groups too, other demographics too. See, it's not just a vulnerability to black men. Black men are more generally the immediate threat because she shares the social spaces with them. She shares the community with them. She shares a home with them. But then even in the larger society, she's harmed at the hands of other men more than any other male group. And the thing for me is, with that being the backdrop and the reality, you got all these niggas online with sunglasses and stars talking about how they are alpha fucking male. But how? How are you an alpha male when that's the reality of what your women are dealing with? First, the threat that you pose because you're violent, and then the threat that other men pose because you're not on your job, and they know you're not on your job. So it makes your woman particularly vulnerable. And then when we start bringing up the statistics and start talking about the empiricism, then brothers want to gauge in nullification because what it is it doesn't make you feel good as a man. But if it doesn't make you feel good as a man, then do the first work first. But we don't want to do that. This is what agitates me when it comes to a lot of brothers, because there's this cowardice. I said this the other night. If I show him his reflection, he's not going to like what he sees. He's his happiest at being able to walk around and prance around and saunter around feeling as if he's somehow King Dingling when there is nothing in observable reality that supports that. Nothing. That's the long and short of it. And so then at that point, the question then becomes, okay, what are you going to do about it? Mm-hmm. What are you going to do about it? The numbers are the numbers.
Yes.
The numbers are the numbers, man. You know what I mean? So we have to be have to be realistic, man. You know what I mean? Like these women thousands of millions of black women aren't lying. They're not lying when they talk about how they've been traumatized. When they talk about how they've been harmed even at the hands of their male peers, they're not lying, man. They're not lying.
I'm not calling them liars. I'm definitely not calling them liars. But here's what I am saying.
No, but you compared us to the manosphere. That's what you did.
Yeah, that's what I want to call it as well.
An example. Basically, like I said, the manosphere has stats, and yes, the stats are correct. I have looked up these stats myself. They are correct. The only problem is it's kind of misleading. Did you understand that? Did you catch that?
The manosphere lies, they lie. The manosphere lie.
Brother,
I do agree with you. But it is true
but no one here is lying.
Will end in divorce. 50% of
that is not true. That is not true. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. And most of you that are talking these manosphere talking points are not married. That is not true.
I know for a fact it is true. Now, it also, and I've also checked out.
Darnell, stop.
You are not being truthful.
Stop. Let her speak.
Speaking as someone who is speaking as someone, and I'm someone who is married. Okay. I don't know how you compare what is going on here on this platform to on that.
Because what I'm saying is that people are
truthful with the comments that you're making. You guys are not being truthful with the comments that you're making, and you're coming on here and doing the same inaccurate stuff. You're comparing what is being talked about here and in women's stuff with the manosphere. Okay.
It's very
no. The ones who are getting the divorces are the same ones you guys brag about grandma and grandpa's marriages. The majority of the divorces are being filed by women in your grandmother's age range, not these young women or whatever it is that you guys are speaking about. You're spewing a lot of things that is being said in the manosphere. However, you guys are not using accurate information. I am not anywhere near the age of the women, which the age is 55 and over. Those are the 70% of women that are filing for divorce. I'm 37 years old. I just celebrated my 13th anniversary last week, Friday. That is not true. What you're saying is not true. The majority of these divorces that are being filed by women are older women. And then there's a reason why. You have to be totally truthful of what you're saying. And the majority of these divorces are due to what? You guys are not married.
Great point.
You guys are not married, but you guys talk about the divorce rate. And it's wrong.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree. And that's actually a great point, because when we look at data, we need to look at what's behind the data in order to analyze the data. And you're absolutely right. A lot of the things that I hear in these manosphere conversations are just talking points and just random data without context.
Listen, if you all don't want to get married, just don't get married. But don't blame the divorce rate and make accusations that are not accurate. And a lot of you know it's not accurate. If you're doing the research that you say that you're doing, be fully honest about it. When you come on to, I am not a black woman. I'm Puerto Rican and Cuban, but I support women. I support women. That's what I support. So that means that I support black women as well. But when you come onto the internet and you say that 70% of divorces are initiated by women, you're also contradicting the fact that they are not the ones getting married. You say that they are the least married. So who's getting these divorces? And what age are they getting divorced at? You have to tell the whole truth, Darnell. Anybody, not just you, but anybody who comes on here.
I am telling the whole truth, and it is a true statistic that half. I'm even looking at it as we speak. Half of marriages end in divorce. Okay.
Well, look, let's get back on. Let's get back on topic.
Now as we speak. Now, again, but you missed the part where I had said where the manosphere does try to deceive young men.
Okay, but in here they're not deceiving anybody here. There's no deceit
I'm not
here.
deceiving anyone.
You're comparing the deceit that is going on in the manosphere to some type of deceit that's going on here. I'm sorry.
No,
we understand. He compared us to the manosphere from the jump. So we're gonna let Amiri get him after he's done, okay?
Okay, I'm gonna get off. I just wanted to make that point and support my sisters, okay? I love you all. Thank you for letting me on.
Leave your email in the back chat, please.
I will. Thank you.
You have to be fair. You can't just say, I'm going to support my sisters, you know, and ignore the stats. The stats are correct. They are correct. Now, the problem that the manosphere doesn't mention is how many, and I said this earlier, and you can run the tape back. I said this earlier, but it doesn't mention how many of these men that these women decided to divorce became abusive, were alcoholics, drug addicts, gamblers, or degenerate men.
Yeah, we got that point. But what Hazel's point is that the demographic...
He's deflecting. He's deflecting. The conversation isn't about, bro, the conversation is not about divorce. The conversation is about black femicide. We're not talking about divorce and shit. You deflecting, man. You're deflecting. You're deflecting.
You are the
Stay on topic. Stay on topic. Stay on topic. The topic is the safety of women and children, period. See how he deflects? And he's talking about he's on topic. No, you're not, man. Just hurry up. Hurry up so I can body this dumb shit you're talking.
You're the damn king of deflection, okay?
Wait, Darnell, no. Calm down. Darnell.
I'm calm, but
Darnell, let me say something.
Go ahead.
Okay. Mary is stating a good point. As soon as we said, let's get back on topic, which is more so about femicide, violence that has to do with protection, that kind of thing. He says, oh, okay, you're right. That's right. Because we are on divorce. I understand the point you're trying to make, but we've been going back and forth about that for the last 15 minutes. So the point that Amiri is trying to make is, let's get off of that and get back on where we were. Regardless whether you think it's finished or not, it doesn't matter. It's finished.
Okay,
because
all right.
We need to go back onto the show. It's like we took the detour, we stayed on the detour, and now we need to get back on the show.
Okay, fair enough.
Welcome, Melinda. That's where we're at, and that's what Miri was trying to reinforce. That's it.
May I jump in really quickly?
The only point that I was trying to make real quickly, ma'am. Only point I was trying to make.
Wait. If it has to do, if it has to do with anything to do,
I'm not going to bring up divorce. I promise.
Okay.
I promise. I'm not going to bring up divorce.
The
only point that I was trying to make was that it segues into what I was saying about the problem with, okay, when we're all in our own little small camp and we're all doing this fear-mongering tactic, saying, okay, black women are getting unalived at an astronomical rate.
But wait. Okay, I got your point.
Okay, you get it. So you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, we've been understood what you're saying.
Okay, well, maybe you did, but
Darnell, this is not fear-mongering. It's not fear-mongering, right? What we're talking about with femicide rates and what we're talking about with the abuse of black women and children is not fear-mongering. This is happening every day at alarming rates. This isn't fear-mongering. So it's not a fair comparison. You're comparing apples to oranges with what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, but you're comparing apples to oranges.
Well, and it is quite offensive for him to open up his statement with comparing our narrative with the Manosphere narrative, which we all know that these men over there lie. It's offensive.
But I don't even want to make this about the Manosphere, because this is what they do. It's trying to make it seem as if the threat is going to come from the extreme. So he's going to use the Manosphere as a lightning rod. No, we're not even talking about that. We're talking about as a matter of culture, as a matter of cultural normalcy, black women are at a particular disadvantage when it comes to safety and security. It ain't got nothing to do with the fucking manosphere. This shit been going on before there was a manosphere. See, this is what these niggas do. And then he think he really being smart by bringing up that shit that you can't even make that type of comparison. It's nothing but to deflect. Because when you look at it for what it is, at the end of the day, it shows that there's a problem with violence as it relates to black men as a demographic, but he don't want to touch that. They never want to touch that. This is what agitates me.
It's not that I don't want to touch it. It's just like I said, what it is called is fear mongering. And I even said earlier, the black manosphere does the same exact thing. They do fear mongering, and that's the point that I'm trying to bring.
You do realize that what we're talking about here has been going on before there was a manosphere, right? You do realize that, right? You do realize, you are aware of that. You are aware. Let's look at some other statistics. You are aware that black girls, to the tune of 68%, are sexually assaulted by the time they reach 18, and it's underreported, so we know it's probably closer to 80 to 90%. But when we want to start talking about, creating an environment that facilitates softer, more feminine women, these niggas never want to deal with the reality of why many of our sisters stay in defense mode when they're around you. But this is what I'm talking about, man. This shit it gets on my nerves. Like, he's still gonna keep talking about. He's still going to make the bane of the conversation about the goddamn manosphere as if this stuff ain't been going on before there was a manosphere. Man, it's ridiculous.
You are missing the point, sir. You are missing the point.
I'm not missing anything. The point you're raising is null and void. You're missing the point.
Okay, so what is the point I am raising then? If it's null and void. The point you're making is it ain't that bad. That's why you're calling it fear mongering. I'm not gonna even insult you. That's why you're calling it fear mongering, because what you're trying to say is that they're just raising this up and it's fear mongering. It ain't even really that bad. You're trying to nullify it when we can go look at the data and see that it's a pervasive problem. This is what I'm talking about. I think you somewhat understand my point. The point what I'm trying to say is that we are all black men, black women, white men, we're all in our own little world. That's the point that I'm trying to make. And all this fear, are you familiar with the term called social engineering? Are you familiar with that term, social engineering?
Now he's going to bring up a bullshit term talking about social engineering. What the hell that got to do with black women being harmed?
If you think it's bullshit,
I don't have time for this tonight, man. I'm gonna have to drop down, man, because I don't have time to go back and forth with this tonight. I just don't have time.
Darnell, I'm gonna make one. We're gonna move forward, but Darnell, I want to make one point. When you were in the military, okay, and they were giving you an assessment of either MIA or KIA or damage or something like that, was that fear mongering? No, because you needed to act upon whatever the information that was given to you, correct?
Correct.
That's what we're doing here. Why do you think we're getting all these emails so we can contact Congress? We want to make changes. We're getting assessments done. We're getting assessments done right now, but you're interpreting that as fear mongering. The 4.6.
I do believe it is fear mongering.
4.6 is what it is.
Okay, and when the manosphere tells me that 50% of divorce, 50% of marriages end in divorce, and then 70% of women. Wait a minute. Hazel just broke that down. Now, if you want, I'm going to make this quick, and then I'm going to move on because we can't stay here all day. Okay.
The problem the manosphere has is they're assessing a number that has little to do with them, because the age group that is getting that divorce, as Hazel said, okay, they're not concerned with. These men in the manosphere want to marry children. Okay,
that's not true.
16 and up. That's what you want. You can look it up yourself. 16 and up. Look at what Obsidian says. They're saying that women that get to 30 have hit the wall. So we're looking at it legally 18 to 30. 18 to 30 women within 18 to 30 are not getting divorced at 50%. It's the older women that they don't want. that are getting more divorces. Do you see my point?
No, sir, I don't. In fact,
that's too bad. That's it. We're done.
May I ask you a question though, really quickly?
Not about that.
Okay, I won't.
If we have a divorce, live, we'll do it then.
Can we?
Yes, sir.
Can I jump in really quick here?
We can't. Prism, please.
So I'm not going to stay here very long. Thank you for everybody on the panel. So I had 15 conversations with Back the Blue organizations today, and to inform them of what's going on. Darnell, if you look at what's going on within social, I want you to contrast what's going on in social media to the contrast what's going on really in the Black culture in some of these communities. You would find a very strong comparison of what's going on. There's no doubt. If there was like for example, there are people like, and I want you to understand something. The definition of fear mongering is the action of deliberately arousing public fear and alarm about a particular issue. Okay, we need to do that when it comes to Black femicide. We're going to have to do that because it is causing women their lives. 1,500 women dying a year at the hands of the person that looks like her is an issue. Do you agree with that? No, I need a simple yes or no. Do you agree that it's an issue for any Black woman to lose her life?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Okay. Do you believe it's an issue? See, that young lady, they're saying that she didn't press charges with this guy that hit her in the face with the brick. Well, I contacted the police there in Houston, and to make sure that this conversation, her pictures and all that stuff was on their radar. That person, even if she doesn't press charges, is a potential threat to other Black women. Do we not understand that?
No, I understand that perfectly.
It is my job as a qualified reporter, and I'm not going to tell you how I'm a qualified reporter because I know we got those trolls rolling around here, and you're never going to find out what I do for a living. So I'm telling you, Darnell, that person is a threat now to the larger community. So usually if somebody strikes you in the face with a brick, it escalates. We can look at the recidivism rates of people who have went to jail, who are incarcerated. Usually their crimes escalate. They might start as a petty thief and they go to something bigger, and then they go to something bigger until they get to the place where they're incarcerated for a long period of time. That is a fact. That is the Department of Justice. We know the recidivism rates are high amongst Black men. Okay, we're not going to.
I'm sorry, you cut out. Can you repeat that last sentence?
We know the recidivism rates of Black men are high. Okay, so we have an issue in the Black race with this type of rhetoric going on. We can't even the comparison for us having a conversation about what's happening with us as Black women have nothing to do with what's going over at the Manosphere, because you have Black women over there in the Manosphere that are touting their same talking points and rhetoric. Hit that woman in the face with a brick. We have another video going around with somebody talking about she should have beat her butt. He should have beat her butt with a cane. All of these different things, that is the dynamic. And we're not going to sit here and lie and act like that's not the dynamic of the Black race. We're not going to sit there when we had a whole court case, and I need to pull it up, of a Black man who wanted the right. He went to the Supreme Court to have the right to beat Black women. He wanted that right for all Black men. So
he actually went to the Supreme Court and asked permission to beat Black.
Okay, wait, station break. I need to get some announcement out of the way. I'd like to thank All Things Nata Jean for the $5 super chat. I'd like to thank Pretty Bones for the $10 super chat, and Sharaya Smith for the $5 super sticker. Very much appreciated. Keeps the internet on. I appreciate that so much. Kim Lee Moon, thank you. $4.99 super chat. Kim Lee says this. Let me put these on. Make sure I get these up here. I really do appreciate this. Thanks for providing this platform for Black women. Thank you, Kim Lee Moon. Thank you, Sharaya, for the super sticker again. And thank you, Pretty Bones, for your $9.99 super. I think it's a super sticker. I don't know. And then All Things Nata Jean. She says, hit the super chat. Show DJ some love. And I appreciate that. You got the party started. Thank you. Okay. I'm done.
Hey, DJ Torch, may I ask you a question really quick, DJ Torch?
Sure.
Okay, so I know you're not a. I know you are not a passport bro, but you are subscribed to Razor Ray's channel.
Correct.
Can you kind of tell us like what do you see when you go on Razor Ray's channel? What do you see?
A bunch of horny guys talking about traveling.
They sound kind of like a bunch of guys in their own little camp, psyching each other's up, right?
It sounds like exactly what I just said.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, that's what I'm trying to say. That's what I was trying to say earlier about social engineering.
Social what?
So
Social
okay, Darnell,
engineering.
how is abuse of Black women social engineering anything? How does
I'm not saying abuse of Black women, but what I am saying is reporting. Okay, so you do have some incidents, right? You have a few incidents, and
Darnell,
I'm going to report on these incidents.
Organizations that I talk to every day, Darnell, according to the police organizations that I've been talking to, and I'm hitting every state, as many as I can. According to the organizations that I'm talking to, there are sheriffs and there are police, chief of police that did not even recognize the term Black femicide until they met me. And when I started talking to them, they started pulling up the data in their counties and in their states, and they started recognizing, hey, this is an issue. I did not realize this was such an issue. And I'm seeing this all around me. One of the toughest sheriffs in Florida is on this situation now because it came on his radar because of who? A Black woman, me. And now he's being very aggressive about how he's starting to deal with those measures in his county. These men are not playing with you all. And you can say whatever you want to, and I'm giving him information. I'm sending him videos. I'm downloading other information, having other people download information so that I can have everything I need. When I give them those presentations, I am determined to make sure that the economy, that the health and the wealth and the safety of Black women and girls are 100% secure in America. And one of the ways that I'm going to push it back is that I'm pushing for other women, and that's where white women and other young women and other races of women are going to come in. We're going to push that age of consent to the age of 20. And we're going to get it done. I'm telling you, we're getting ready to get it done. And we're going to go on both sides of the table. We're going to go both Republican and we're going to go both Democrat. We're going to push that you no longer have access in America and say it's okay to touch a little girl because they have rhetoric of Black men online to say that hey, don't you the age, if they're 14, if they have a cycle, they should be able to be touched. These men are sickened by the men inside of this space. We have women that I've been talking to who are in domestic violence counseling, the rates for women who are women and girls who are missing. And we're talking about the signs of violence and aggressive males. We have men who are trolls who upload videos who think it's content for comedy and educational to tease the Black culture. That is a sign of violence. That is an aggressive person. They are an aggressive personality, and they're taking it out on Black women by making mockery of them. That person is a dangerous person. We keep on low-lining these Black men, giving them these passes to allow them to continue with their bad behavior, Darnell, and you're co-signing it. There is in no way, shape, form, or fashion are you hearing Black women say Black men need to be beaten. Now, there might be a team of Black women over there that tell you that more than that needs to be happening to you. And that's their opinion. But that's not the large community of Black women who are a collective of Black women that are saying that all Black men need to be unalived. But we heard a lot of Black men in this space, not just one, that said that same thing, who are cheering Black women being unalived. And they need, and keep saying, we need to increase that number till it goes to every 1 hour. We have men saying that kind of stuff. I'm not going to stop. I'm going to continue to talk to these organizations. I told you, if y'all didn't sweep around your streets, I was going to get the broom. I'm the broom, and I'm going to start taking everything and all the rugs that got the dirt underneath it. I'm going to pull all those rugs up and show everything that's going on with the Black race. Because even the women who are pro advocates for the procedures to unalive fetuses, they did not recognize that you all were using those statistics for the last 30 years to bash and abuse Black women online. And now those women are trying to find a way to keep those stats from going public anymore, where it only will be available to them. That if you need information on it, you will have to find out from them how many things happen in your county only. And only when you do that, you will have to register your name, your address, and why you want the information. And when you upload that information, if they send it to you through email, if they see anything that's disseminated through the communities in YouTube, it's going to be a penalty attached to it, because that's not why those rates are being for, or what those rates are for. Those rates are not for you to be able to shame Black women for the decisions, or other races of women for the decisions that they had to make in painful situations. That's not what it's for. So they're trying to start working with us as well, because you guys have done so much that has caused so much harm to people that they needed somebody like me to come in to cure the situation. And I am the cure. Now, I'm the cure for all of this stuff, and I'm not playing around. So, it's not me alone. I told these people that they're going to discontinue. I've told numerous people to stop. And I'm not playing around. Oh, Kittens, I see your comment. Well, they're going to be on their way too. They're not going to be able to stop what I'm doing.
Okay, hold on one second. I just want to get some shout outs out of the way. Thank you, the Urbanista, for your super sticker. Thank you so much, Your Average Logical Thinker, for your $9.99. This is the first platform where I feel change can be made. Very appreciative. Thank you so much. We're going to be working hard. Okay, I'm sorry. Keep going. Yeah, so they don't, because I read in some comment, they think that, they think they're going to really change something. Well, I'll tell you what, it was 3 Black women who pushed Black Lives Matters and made it the way that it is, as well, as always, as usual, they use a tragedy to do something like that, to be able to accumulate millions of dollars for them to move into mansions and to do whatever they needed to do. And at the same time, they made Black men the golden calf of the Black community and made everybody else who's a worshiper bow down to that. Well, all the people in the back of the blue, they agree with me. We're going to make sure that calf is burnt down to the ground, and that the real people who have been holding up the Black race are pushed forward. Black women and girls need to be pushed to the forefront. If they're saying we're a gynocracy, we're really going to be a gynocracy now, because we're tired of it. We're tired of seeing little girls. We're tired of seeing women. We're hurt. We're sick of it. We're tired of it. So I know Kittens. I don't have to explain you to them. I just like to let them know that you're not going to stop me. You're not going to be able to dox me. There's people that's been trying to dox me. They keep saying, like I told you, I'm getting ready to go someplace else, because I'm going to reveal somebody's troll accounts, and I'm going to put every one of them out there that we found. That list has already went up to YouTube, and they're working on those emails so that we can start moving out all of these fake troll accounts and emails. We need to stop what's going on, Darnell. There's an issue not only in the real streets, we have an issue right here in the YouTube streets, and it needs to be handled.
Hey, Prism, I just want to applaud you for the work that you're doing, and the other sisters as well too. When I first got on here, I was talking about what are we doing with this deplorable behavior, and I applaud you I hope the brothers that are out here listening, and the brothers that are on this panel, like Darnell, are also supporting you as well too. Because end of the day, we want to make sure that our people are protected and we are progressing. So thank you, sister, for all the work that you're doing.
You're welcome. But Darnell, I'm gonna tell you right now, every 1 hour, every time you go out, every time you walk in the streets, you're one of those people. You're subject to one of them pookies or one of them dudes that you right now caping up for, putting on your super brown bat jacket on. They're right there ready to take care of you. You got black men right now, Darnell. If it hadn't been for me, that called you a super simp on another. Yes. On another platform, they called you a super simp. They had your information up there. If it hadn't been for me, Darnell, contacting those people, that video of you would have continued to stay up there. That person had to private that video.
Yep, I'm a super simp. I'm a dry dick incel.
Basically, what she's saying is that fighting for black women is fighting for good black men. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Fighting for black women is because basically that's the only reason, the major problem we have right now is that, believe it or not, Darnell, there are very few good black men in the United States of America right now because of everything we're talking about the how a lot of black men are influenced by the hip hop culture. A lot of men are influenced by the, saying that, oh yeah, we're not going to snitch on guys who cause crimes, that sort of thing. Unfortunately, that side of that is the war that if good black men outnumbered bad black men, the numbers we're seeing right now would not be happening. Because if there were so many good black men, how could we reach a number of deleting each other at one every hour? Do you see my point?
Yes, sir, I do. I do see your point. And I've always said it, that yes, there is an issue in our community that we do have to fix.
It's a gigantic issue. It's a straight up problem. Because the thing is this. Think about it like this.
I did say the word huge.
Okay.
I did say huge.
Think about it like this. If we could change, and I don't think we can, if we could change the mindset of black men from, let's say, that hip hop ideology to a more logical ideology, take your pick, right? Would the black culture be improved?
Yes.
There it is. Yeah. Because let's say if even black women did even better because you made this argument about the 7%. Let's say black women lowered it right in half to 3%, equal with Caucasian women, right? That's only 3%. So is that going to change the community? Probably not.
I don't think so.
You see, so that's, see, the thing is that if there was another problem other than us that were causing the problem, this platform wouldn't exist. But we are the problems. We are the problem. We have
and
to
also,
admit
Torch, when he starts bringing up stuff like that, that's a conflict of our interests.
Right.
It might be, but you have to hear the objection side. Like
we don't.
Yes, you do, ma'am.
I don't think y'all are in a position to object, Darnell. I'm sorry I interrupted. I really don't think he may not even understand the gravity. I don't think most of them might not even possess the capacity to understand the gravity of it.
Melinda. Yeah. Hang on one second. So let me say something. Hey, DJ Torch. So you have the guy that showed up on Amiri's page last night, Pesos, the crank dealer, in your chat. He said, y'all not going to silence black men online for speaking the truth. I agree. Black men need to stop talking about black women. Don't mention nothing about them. Don't spear them. Approach them. Never. Okay, so we have somebody who is not only stupid, he's illiterate as well because he can't even spell. So this is the person that keeps on posing like he is Peso Man when really it's Marquise 912. Okay, these are the cowards that I'm talking about who come into these chats that say all kind of stuff and then bring beef back and forth, and they'll go over to Peso's channel and say, hey, they over there talking about you, because what he's trying to do is make us say Peso Man's name. So he's going to take that beef from here and take it over to Peso's man and say, yeah, they over there talking the same way he does the same thing as Jonathan Quinones and all of these other places. I'm going to expose him very soon of all the accounts that he has that YouTube has already in their possession because he talks too much. He's taking all of this stuff and he's using it to cause beef in other communities. And everybody knows what's going on, including people who have main passport channels. I've given them the same information. So back to what I was saying. So let me segue. Make sure he doesn't come back into the chat again. Please ban him permanently. We don't want him here at all. And what I need you to do is hit the 3 dots on the button and go to the channel and hit the About tab, hit that report user, report the user for harassment and cyberbullying, and hit next. Flag that bastard, tell them it's a troll in the additional comments. Hey, DJ Torch, can I share my page really quick, please?
I'm sorry, say again?
I need to share my page really quick, and then I'm going to let Melinda take it back over.
Okay. Yeah, just go ahead.
Give me 1 second.
No.
Can everybody put a 1 in the chat when they can see my screen, please, or let me know?
I can see your screen.
Okay.
I can see it.
All right. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to that name. Do you see that where I said I hit the 3 dots on the side? Go to the person's name, Peso's Crank Dealer. Do you see my thing right here?
Yes.
Go to the channel. You see that right there? You're going to go to the channel. So I'm going to share this tab right here. Do you see that tab right there with his face?
Yes.
Okay, you're going to hit the About tab. You're going to go to the About tab and you're going to hit that flag. Do you see this flag right here? Can you see that?
Sure can.
And you're going to hit Report User. You're going to click on cyber harassment and cyberbullying. You're going to click Next, and you're going to type
Yeah, for those who can't see the icon anymore, what I will do is I will leave a link to the person's page.
Okay, so what I'm typing,
community page.
Okay, so what you need to type in when it gets to the additional notes: troll account which continue to harass and bullies others in chats and community streams. This is an impersonation page acting as Peso Man. Oh yeah. Then once you finish getting that information, hit submit, and it goes directly for that AI system to start reading it. Because what's going on, and I'm getting tired of it, is that these guys keep creating these accounts. They come in here because they're a bunch of losers and they talk a bunch of crap and they don't have anything better to do than to sit around and do this stuff to Black women and Black men having productive conversations. Do not allow them to continue. If you see a troll, troll their butts out. Put that information and give it to YouTube. The more, the better. And what I'll do is I will go ahead and send that to 4 of my contacts again and let them know what's going on. So go ahead, Republic. I appreciate it. Thank you, ma'am.
Hey there, no problem. Hey, thanks DJ Torch for letting me come up, and hey chat and panel and everybody. I didn't know y'all had something yesterday, but man, I listened to it and it was absolute fire. And I wanted to say to these guys, I don't think y'all understand how patient the DJ Torches and Amiris have been with some of you. Because to me, I'm gonna be honest, they're way more, you know, as hierarchies go, you're really lucky that they even deal with you with trying to give you some information and stuff like that, you know, again, because with Black community, I'm really meaning this, other people's communities really have separations. You know, with our community, we kind of all blend together. We can be all different educational levels, every, you know, intelligence, everything, and we'll still deal with each other, right? And have patience. And I've noticed this among men especially, and maybe that's just how men do. Men have, I notice maybe more patience with other men, even when they are really lacking. But this is what, y'all really give DJ Torch a hard time. And I remember DJ, I was letting you play a kind of like an essay thing this woman wrote, and DJ didn't even finish it. He was like, he stopped it and he was like, look, y'all fellas, we got to get it together. You don't know how much I think for some of these men who really know and who are still like have some faith in some of you dudes, even if they have to come to the point where they have to admit certain things and be like, okay, yeah, this is true. Because if you have integrity, you can't just keep lying to your people. DJ, I heard you say something like that yesterday. You have to be honest. But I think it has taken Black men a long time to get there. But when I see guys like DJ or Amiri go there, it's like, man, it must really be bad. But I think you may not be able to reach them on a level of them really understanding, because I'm at this point, I'm not trying to, show Black men anything. I'm just saying that for Black women need to kind of realize also the part Black women play in it too. But they were even patient with some of you guys yesterday. I listened to a guy literally say, what am I supposed to just not let him hit the woman and what hit me? What are we supposed to do? Yet he says he's alpha. And then even y'all on the panel were like, well, look, you can just write a license number down, just tell him not to do it. I'm looking at how Black people have to deal with Black men. This would be, when other races of people are like, they're teaching their kids how to defend themselves tactically with weaponry and living out in the wild and off grid. Black men are having to tell another Black man and Black men how they can do basic stuff to protect a Black woman. But yet, I was even told on a panel when that brawl happened in Alabama, someone said to me, well, you just don't have empathy. That man could have been killed. And we saw, all the memes and stuff like that. We watched a Black man hit a white woman over the head who was really clearly not a threat. And Black people made excuses for that too. So I'm looking at kind of where Black folks are. And those people are just going to be left behind, but at least something's being done. Because we, like what you're doing, Prism, and I would like to help making moves to let the authorities, people who are in that right above us governing policing position, because they also need to know too, Black women's mentalities. I think when they see that there's a cultural issue with a lot of this, because Black women, we can't afford to sitting up here be like always the opposing threat to authorities, and then Black men are clapping when you get hit. And that's what this is. It's like there's the backwards dynamic And I think it needs to be more aware to other people. That's where we ought to be now, because sometimes you can't change people's mindsets. They really just don't. It could even be a spiritual block, who knows, but either way, it's dangerous.
Well said, Melinda. Well said. Let me play some examples of people that aren't scared to protect their women. I think it's important that I make these examples, these positive examples, so we can see the contrast in what we're hearing in our own community. Here we go. Let me first bring it up. It's very important to see how other people do what they do. Now I'm going to put that back. I'm going to put her back up for a second.
Hey, DJ Torch, what is that symbol in your
Hold on a
avatar?
second.
In downtown Phoenix last month, and police say that Josh Jones stepped in when a girl you see here on camera was assaulted while waiting for her boyfriend.
You know what's messed up?
And you can see Jones in the highlighted area right here, and the guy trying to take the girl down to the ground. He took the man to the ground himself and sat on him, as you can see there, until officers arrived. Josh was recognized by the Phoenix police for his heroic actions. He told police he did what he thought was right to do. Thanks, Josh.
Two women in their 70s casually walking on Pitkin Avenue in Brownsville, Brooklyn, never saw it coming. A homeless man approaches the woman pulling a shopping cart and shoves her to the ground, her head smashing into the building. Then he punches the other woman right behind her.
It was bad. She was bleeding from her head and we had to give her tissue.
Within seconds, a Good Samaritan who had just passed by runs after the attacker, tackling him to the ground, holding him as witnesses call police.
He risked it all.
The shocking ordeal was captured by the surveillance camera outside Shoppers World on Pitkin Avenue, where employee Jakira Baez Mercedes was walking into work.
I saw two men wrestling on the corner, and I was like, they probably play fighting. And then when I came here, I saw she was bleeding. She was asking for help in her language, and she didn't know what to do.
Once police arrived, the Good Samaritan, who is also homeless, rushed over to check on the two injured women and explained what happened to responding officers.
We should have more people like him in the neighborhood, because he actually saved her from getting more hurt, and he held the man down until the police came.
The attacker in his 60s was arrested and underwent a psych evaluation. The two victims were treated at the hospital and released. As for the Good Samaritan, we're told he lost his cell phone out here during the ordeal, and it's unclear at this point if he ever got it back. In the Brownsville section of Brooklyn, Hazel Sanchez, CBS 2 News.
An incredible rescue caught on camera. A Good Samaritan here in New York jumped in to save a woman facing a knife attack on a subway platform. And TJ has this incredible story.
And sure, you said here in New York, this is at one of the...
Now, this is an important thing, because remember, black men always talk about, oh, yeah, you know, I don't want to lose everything that's going on for me. And good point. Good point. Let's see what these Good Samaritans
busiest subway stations in all of and in the heart of Manhattan. And this story in this video, you see something go from horrific to heroic, just like that.
He's the hero who rushed in to stop a violent subway attack.
The moment I saw the knife, I decided to run to that spot.
The attack happened just after 10 p.m. at the Union Square substation, one of the busiest hubs for commuters and tourists in New York City. Surveillance video shows the suspect approaching the woman before grabbing her and pulling her from the edge of the platform.
Her scream was alarming enough. It was a scream of terror.
The Good Samaritan, Sean Conaboy, says the attacker quickly began slashing his 54-year-old victim. You can then see Conaboy rush in. He tackles the attacker as others join to help him hold him down until police arrive.
I knew enough to know that as long as I keep him in front of me or down, face down on the platform, he's going to have a much harder time turning the knife on me.
Conaboy is thankful he could help, but he says he worries about a recent spike in violence on the country's largest subway system.
If it can happen to her, it can happen to you, and it can happen to me.
Victim in this case was taken to the hospital, expected to be okay. We have seen a number of headlines recently about there have been murders.
Listen, this is very important.
Violent attacks, the headline slashings even we keep seeing. This is vitally important that people aren't afraid to get on that subway, because it's so important
Okay,
to this.
let me break something down here real quick. Now, I'm not saying that everybody should do this. But that was the guy, Conroy, the gentleman who was speaking. He's not the biggest guy in the world. He kind of had a slim body. He looked like he was in, decent shape, but he was not Superman or nothing, right? And judging by the quality of his house, it looked like he had a lot to lose. Now he still stepped in. Okay? He didn't have to. The guy had a freaking knife, which I believe is an upgrade from a brick. Not much of one, because bricks are dangerous. He still jumped in, took on that guy one-on-one. So, hey, I understand, fellas. Hey, you don't want to lose your life for something dumb, but don't think everybody else is thinking like you do. Not everybody's thinking like you do. And the fact that you guys are out here laughing at women being abused and joking about protection, you're making our culture look bad. Because there's other people in other cultures that ain't got no problem taking that risk. I'm not saying you should. Okay?
DJ Torch, I'm not going to stay up much longer, but another thing that I think that we need to start doing, we need to start talking about the signs of violence and abuse in the Black culture, because this whole thing about, like people think cyber harassment, stalking, and cyber stalking, harassment, and abusive commentary, saying stuff like your uncle must have touched you, is something hilariously funny when we know the dynamics that go on in the Black race with a lot of women, which has never happened to me, thank God, because I have great men around me. The person that did it, we know he's not a great person, because he probably comes from that same dynamic. For you to bring something up like that, it must have happened to you somewhere down the line. So I don't have any type of mercy or grace for people like that. What I do is I pity them and I take them out. If I'm going to get them everywhere that they go, like I keep saying, and we're tired of it. So that's why I'm saying we're going to continue doing what we're doing legally. There is no such thing as false flagging in YouTube. They're either going to review it and say, hey, it stays, or they're going to review it and say, no, it doesn't. There is no such thing. No, you can't get somebody's page. You can't cancel somebody. You're going to get somebody's page banned. No. And, let me say another thing, because I want to address this. So there's a thing talking about where I'm going around saying stuff on other people's page. Why don't I have any of my own content? Actually, I do have my own content. You just can't see it. It's unlisted and it's private, and it's for a purpose, because it's not for you. So and they think that I'm using you, DJ Torch, that I'm manipulating you somehow. Like, how am I manipulating you when you've been online much longer than I have? How am I manipulating Alex Brennan when Alex has been in the YouTube streets longer than I have?
Prism, you know what that is? That's what they're trying to do is use mind games. That won't work.
Because Black women don't come to their page. They're angry because they can't get a collective of Black women to come to their page to have a conversation with them. They're angry because they don't have anybody who's willing to sit around and listen to them, which is why they create a whole bunch of dumb snippets and sketches and all this other dumb stuff. But that's what you do with degrees around here. That just goes to show me that's the kind of dynamic that's going on in the streets and in these streets. It doesn't matter whether they have a degree or not. They're the same Black man.
Right.
So let's stop playing around. I'm over it. Like, you guys don't like it. Like, I don't really care. It's starting to look like it's all of you, because we're sitting here having a conversation, and Sprout wasn't afraid to pull up to Mary Brown's show yesterday. He pulled up there and had a conversation with all those men.
Sure
Sprout
did.
was over there. He sure did. And Mary appreciated him coming. He had a real good conversation with those men. He wasn't scared. Sprout ain't going nowhere. You guys ain't gonna sit there and punk him like he's doing something. That's a man that has his own family, his own children, and his own life. That's a man. Nobody's beating Sprout over here. We don't have to agree with everything he said. Doesn't mean that he's not welcome to come here. We're all learning from one another.
That proves how really abusive the Black culture and Black community is too, because of the shaming tactics. Like they'll say, or you're white or you're feminist. And what they're basically saying is that, I told someone the other day, so what you're saying is that you're paying homage to white people's sense of standards and a social order, even like an unspoken social order. You're telling me that it's better, and they hold each other to a higher standard by saying that I must be white if I say this. You see what I mean? That's another thing too. And like, you know, of course, the who hurt you and things like that. But I wanted to give y'all just one little example too of how kind of dangerous, I guess, that some of the thought processes are. After the Tory Lanez, you know, Meg Stallion, that was found guilty, I went to a channel where a Black man had all kind of hodgepodge stuff put together, and the Black women were saying that was her gun. It was whatever the color of it was. They had some janky piece of what they thought was evidence of the actual gunshots that they said someone had. Do y'all know the lengths that these folks went through to say that a woman shot it? They said that the gun sounded like a woman shot it. This is where Black people's minds is. This is what we can't help that, but I'm just saying we also need to be aware of how dangerous it is and how entrenched some of this belief stuff is, and for Black men to realize all of this stuff and this socialization has been to protect Black men. And that's what we also need to realize too, that it's been very dysfunctional, and Black males don't even realize that it's been to their detriment too. Black women, it is really to yours and to the children. But what I've noticed is that it's gone on so long, Black males are so what's the word, out of touch. They think that they're being picked on and bullied. They can't even see the culture that they created, the music, all this stuff. They don't even see it. And I think that's what Black women need to realize.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but Melinda, you brought up a good point. I think it's clear for me to make it clear that we are not as confined or as oppressed as we lead on to be in general. That's the problem we have, is that we could change our culture if we wanted to as Black men. We simply just have to make that decision to do so and stop blaming other people. The problem
but Black women have been manipulated by it. They got the Black woman to believe it, you know, and that's the thing.
Yeah, you nailed it. Let me play another video. This one showing a Black hero, but putting his life on the line to save somebody.
These individuals took action. They didn't run away.
2 men are being honored as heroes after they came to the rescue of a 71-year-old woman. Murray Rogers was in a Tempe, Arizona park setting up for his child's birthday party.
Could not believe, based on how many people were at the park and the time of day, that what I was seeing was actually happening.
Rogers wasn't the only person who heard the woman's distress. New England's Patriots defensive tackle Justin Herron was walking in the park.
It was a crazy experience. It was something that I never dreamed that I thought I would see.
Authorities have identified Kevin Caballero as the alleged attacker. Police say he grabbed a woman from behind and attempted to sexually assault her in broad daylight.
It was terrifying to witness.
The dad and the football player both rushed to the woman's defense and held the alleged perpetrator until police arrived.
Yell, tell him to get off of her, and then yanked them off, and then I told him to sit down.
Both men.
So all you guys out there want to diss this football player who plays for the New England Patriots, right? You want to diss him? He shouldn't have done that, right? You guys would have called him a simp. Some people just have a heart. They just have a heart. You don't have to have one, but some men do.
And were honored by Tempe Police Department for their heroism.
They really assisted our victim. It was truly amazing.
For Inside Edition Digital, I'm TC Newman.
DJ, DJ, I'd like to say, I guess with the brick situation, it was bad enough what happened. I think that, did it shock you of how the lengths that Black men would go to try to make it look like they were there and everything? This is what, again, I don't even see women doing this kind of stuff. Like, what level of scheming and conniving do you have to be on to do that? That's my question.
Sadly enough, it's almost the state. That's how I've noticed. You know something, Melinda? That's a great point. And the reason why that is because, when you're online, you're hoping that, okay, well, this red pill, all for myself mentality, I hope it's not in the Black community as much as it is. And unfortunately it is. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of people, I try to tell people that really Black red pill is really just a subsidiary of the hip hop culture, because it has to do with misogyny. It has to do with sexism. It has to do with controlling women, getting what you want. It has to do with making an interaction with the opposite sex more of a transaction than really an emotional connection. It's really bad. It's really bad, and it just goes to show you that look at the guy who falsely defended the actions of all the other men there, when he said that he was there when he really wasn't, number one, which again shows you how fraudulent these men are willing to be, to win their argument. And it shows you that these men will defend each other more than probably they will defend their female family members. It's scary because they need it. What kind of empathy do you not have for your own female family members? And these guys must not have any, because that's the only way they could be thinking the way they're thinking.
Well, remember the guy who was in the gang and his rival gang opponent shot him and his daughter in a drive-thru at McDonald's. His daughter was 7 and she didn't make it. She was unalive. I think because he had urinated on the grave of another gang member. This same man who lost his daughter went on a live streamed himself, like shortly after, maybe days or something, and said, I would give my life for one of my boys, from one of my gang people, but I wouldn't do it for my daughter. But now I wouldn't give my life for my daughter. I mean it. I would give it for one of my boys. This Black man said that. This was not in the Black community. He said this. It still probably is online. This was within 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, that's it's I think what Gemini called homo romantic, where it's literally, don't get me wrong, I'm not calling the guy, gay, but what I'm saying is that when it comes to love, he wants his love to come from a man, and he wants to give love to a man. It sounds weird. He may want to have sex with a woman, but he wants to give his love to a man, his pals, his buddies. It's weird. It's thug. Yeah, Trixie hit it good. Thug love. And the sad thing is, Melinda, when you telling me that it was that recent, this is something you would expect to hear maybe in the heyday of the gangs, if you know what I mean.
Oh no,
right?
This was recent. Yeah, the little girl was shot, like, I forgot how many times, and she didn't make it, in the back seat of McDonald's. And he got on live and he said that. And it was just, you know what, y'all, think sometimes we absorb listening to this, even the guys who come on the panel, even here. I think sometimes too, I want it to be known that I think maybe Prism maybe she might have mentioned this or something one time, or one of the other ladies who used to be here. You build up almost a tolerance for the things that these Black guys say, and this is why they can come online and say things about harming children or how old a child should be. Black men do not feel unsafe. They can't be this afraid and oppressed because, you know, when we do see a white male say this kind of stuff, they usually, I mean, they get some type of a consequence. And so again, it's our levels, it's our threshold of what we're used to, because this isn't new. You know, the abuse of our skin tone, hair, not deserving to be protected. This is not new among Black folks. It's so common.
Let me play this another example of another hero. This is another Black male hero who didn't cower down to that. Oh yeah, well, I don't want to get myself shot.
So I want to talk about this video that has been floating around. It was sent to me by Lucy. Shout out to Lucy. She sent it to me on Instagram. I'm trying to get better at shouting the people out who send me things, because if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't know about a lot of these stories. So shout out to Lucy. But she sent me a video of a Black man stepping in to defend and protect a very pregnant Black woman against this white man. He was very irate, you know, very, he looked really crazy to me. Some are calling him a suspected racist or suspected white supremacist. I don't know if he's racist. He just looked flat out crazy to me, to be honest. And, you know, I have a few things to say about this, about how the Black woman handled herself in the situation, and also how the Black man stepped in and held it down. But I'm just going to go ahead and show y'all the video for those who have not seen it. And then I'm going to come back and give you my thoughts on this.
Ooh. This girl big and pregnant. He's talking about, or what? I would have decked his ass.
Did I threaten you? I did not threaten you. I said you were a dummy and she was 15-year-old driver. Get out of my face. Get out of my face.
Walking up on his face like that. Is she walking up on you?
Exactly.
You need to back the fuck up. You heard what the fuck I said? I said you need to back the fuck up. That's a woman. And you's a motherfucking man. Now what you gonna do? Go the fuck on. Go the fuck on. Go the fuck on. Put that gun away. Fuck you. Put that gun away, motherfucker. Go ahead. Go ahead. Put that gun away.
Done. DJ Torch, can you pause that? Did the Black gentleman actually have a gun? He said, "Put the gun away."
Yeah, he does.
Oh, okay, so he does actually have a firearm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's holding it on his right hand.
I was kind of concerned.
I
was kind of concerned it might have been one of those things. Oh, you know, oh, you got a gun, you know, and you really don't.
He pulled it right there. See it?
Yep.
Yep.
Fuck you. Put that gun away, motherfucker. Go ahead. Go ahead. You just put that gun away. You just threatened me, motherfucker. Fuck you.
Go to the store.
Gun away. You're not a man. You ain't a man. I ain't used shit yet. Boy, put your motherfucking hands on me. I don't give a fuck who you call.
You did this. You're the one that's aggressive to everybody.
I don't care who you call. Call a cop. Call a cop. Yes,
And I'm gonna record all of it because I'm here for it.
That's right. I'm a pregnant woman. You got our ball in our face. We got this lady filming.
Oops.
I've been recording every second, sir, since you got out of the car.
Do your business. Get the fuck one out of here.
That's how it's done.
You were about to hit a pregnant woman. I have it here on camera.
I don't give a fuck. Go ahead. Go ahead. I tell you what, I will break your motherfucking face. What? That's what I said.
Ooh.
That's
Let me get my
Put your
shit.
hands on. Go ahead. Put your hands on. Put your hands on. You got a gun. What? That's legal. So what? It's legal. You jumping on a pregnant woman. A gun at somebody is legal. I ain't pointed at nobody. You a lying motherfucker. I got it on film. Go ahead.
Whoa.
You motherfucker. That's right. You motherfucker. Do it again. Do it again. I'm going to kill you, you motherfucker. Come on. You don't hit me. You don't try to hit me.
Oh. Wait, maybe I missed something, but I thought he punched him in his stomach first.
That's what it looked like to me.
You know.
And he does use the verbal threat of killing.
He sound like Rico. Queen, I know her.
Well,
you do sound like Rico. Yeah.
What? He don't know.
Believe it or not, as soon as he hit him, he could have put the black man could have put. Hey, I commend him. He could have put 3 in the guy, and I mean it would have been complicated, but he wouldn't go to jail. He just hit him back.
Could not catch.
yeah, eyewitnesses. Back to the story. Yeah, he's not. I don't think he could have went to jail. But you notice the restraint that he uses.
Yes, it's commendable.
He doesn't
it's commendable, isn't it?
He doesn't point the weapon at him at no time.
Right. Right.
You hit him first. Look at this man's eye. You hit him first. I'm about to leave ground beef and McCart and stuff, trying to be defending this pregnant lady.
By this time, I mean, has the police been called yet?
I've been recording since he got out of the car.
That I don't know. That I don't know.
Since he got out of the car. Well, they love to call the police, but this white man about to jump on this damn pregnant girl. Hell no. She better than me because my pregnant ass would have fuck out his old ass.
Run your motherfucking mouth. That's all you want. You need to get out there. Yeah, all right. Thank you.
So as you can see, this black woman is big and pregnant. I mean, she looks like she is about 7 months pregnant.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure what happened here, but it sounded like maybe her 15-year-old daughter or whoever is 15 and was driving the car. It sounds like she made some sort of driving error that involved this white man, and it caused him to get very upset and confront the black woman after it happened. And looking at this video, I just feel like if this black man wouldn't have stepped in, who knows what would have happened. I definitely feel like this white man would have harmed this pregnant black woman. He didn't seem to care that she was pregnant. He didn't care that
Remember
she was
now, this man had no problem hitting the black man. He had no problem doing that. So she's onto something.
the woman. He was all up in her personal space. I mean, dude just didn't care. So I'm glad the black man jumped in, kudos to him. But there are a few things I have to say about this. First of all, and some black women are going to get really upset with me when I say this, but I just feel like after the black man jumped in, I feel like the black woman should have just got back in the car. Okay.
I agree with that.
Black women.
I
agree with that. Get back in the car, get out of the situation.
I understand that. I do, though, understand why she did that, though, because she wanted. It's funny. She wanted to make sure that he was okay as well. It sounds weird.
Yeah.
but she wanted to make sure that he didn't get in no trouble. So, 2 against 1 is 2 against 1, pregnant or not. You see what I'm saying? Well,
Yeah.
technically it's 3 against 1. But you see my point. I commend her for that. But at the same time, for safety reasons, she should have got in the car, and got out of the mix. In fact, it might have been better that they got in the car and just went on their way. The only problem is sometimes, these people say, oh yeah, she left the sign of the crime. You know what I mean? That's the only other thing, but at least move the car. You know what I mean?
Well, but see, the thing is, on video, she never committed any crime. You see what I'm saying?
Well,
so
it's
she
weird.
never committed a crime.
Well, he's Caucasian, so you see how that works?
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but as you can see, you do have the bystander that is filming everything.
It is taking, right. But still, there's still that issue. But yes, you are correct. At the very least, she should have moved out of danger. She was still in striking range.
Yeah.
Yeah. And too, I think I described where some of that. Were you finished playing that, DJ?
Yeah. Go for it.
I think also too, remember, I think I gave an example of the threshold that Black women have for danger. It's like, whereas another woman may have moved out of the way, guarded her womb, you have to look at what
you're saying is that Black women have a propensity or being used to a higher level of danger other than other cultures. Therefore, she didn't feel the same fear to escape as another culture would. I
exactly.
agree.
Yeah.
At the same time, it's weird because she was still showing a fealty or a loyalty to help the brother too. At the same time, it's weird. It's a weird dynamic, if you know what I mean.
DJ, that brawl. Do you remember the older Black woman made a video saying, and she was mad at her uncle and her dad, and she was like, if I fight my dad, I'll get an elder abuse charge. And then she got mad at the white woman, so she went to fight, and she was telling another Black woman on the boat, another employee, you gonna go down and fight too? Because we're not gonna let this happen to this Black man. And then she was like, and police, y'all can come get me. I live here and this is my name. And yet the other Black guy was hiding out, and they raised money for him. But this Black woman even tried to pull another Black woman in to go fight on behalf of a man. Even if she wasn't fighting the men, it was like it shows she's been done wrong mostly by Black men. She's not been defended or protected. One of them did her wrong. The uncle accused her or something like. It's just, again, this isn't. I want y'all to realize. Someone said yesterday, it's not about nurturing. This is taught behavior and it's dysfunctional. It's what they've done is the community has warped Black women's sense of nurturing and taken advantage of it because Black women are protecting the adult Black males, not the children, and not the people who really are vulnerable in her community, including other Black women. She's protecting the males, adult Black males, and when they're criminals, seems to be even more so. So I want y'all to realize, we Black women, we're trying to give each other some type of pass by acting like this is something that because we're nurturing. It's not, because your community hasn't benefited from this. You're actually harming other people. Just like with that Chantel's comment. DJ, I heard that yesterday, you played it. I mean, my thing is, I know some people like her maybe just getting, paid, but look at what Black women will do. So again, we got to look at all this. It's the mammies, and she's obvious, but it's the crypto mammies we got to watch too. I'm just saying, so this whole community, Black males are going to aggress like this because too, they've been allowed to. But for Black women to literally, this sets us up for other people not seeing your humanity. you know, and like that book that guy wrote was Out of Gun Forest. What the black women need to be, Bill Guillotine. Okay, how was a lawyer able to play that, and he's still, working? You know what I mean? So again, black men, they can do this stuff, and they don't have any fear, and that's the thing too. So I'm just saying, I don't know.
I understand. I'm gonna play one more, and then we're gonna call it a day. Here we go. One more.
Tampa attorney and his son step in to save a jogger after a man randomly attacked her in a neighborhood just blocks away from Hyde Park. The 30-year-old victim shared these photos with us. She is expected to be okay, but she had a concussion and a lot of cuts and bruises. These photos show her injuries days after the attack. Tampa police say around 7 last Friday, that woman was jogging on West Watrous Avenue near Oregon Avenue.
And read Saray's message. This is on point, and we need to stop. Shout out to Chrissy, Sinji, and Princella for speaking against that behavior. Boom.
Tampa when a suspect started following her. The suspect grabbed her ponytail from behind, striking her in the face multiple times and knocking her to the ground. Charles McKeon and his son were walking back from dinner when they ran over to help.
I drew my firearm and told him I would shoot him, and he stopped hitting her, and then he came at me, and I allowed him to get too close to me, and he hit me in the head. I fell, stumbled backwards.
It could happen to anyone, and we're just happy she's okay, because I mean, this isn't about us, it's about her and about people watching their surroundings.
Police say Charles fired one round from his gun in self-defense. The bullet did not hit anyone. Charles's son stepped in between his father and the suspect. Officers located that suspect not far away and arrested him for aggravated battery with great bodily harm.
Okay, so let me pause it right there. The point